Usman, what's happening, bud?
How's it going, man? Getting bed and bath duties done real quick.
I know how it goes for you at the jump. Kate, I see you in the space. Nice to see you. Let me go ahead and hit the shout outs. CapMMA.com. Best place to get us MMA moneyline betting odds, over unders on rounds, side by side parlay calculator. Look up scorecards, tail of the side by side any two players that you or any two fighters that you want. That is promotion restricted. UFC guys versus UFC guys, PFL versus PFL, 1-1, and so on. A huge archive of scorecards, like 3,500 scorecards. I believe we have the largest archive on the internet. And sometimes Usman over there, my co-host, does a space on Sundays we call Cash or Trash, where he does bet reviews. Watch for that space. Outside of that, we will be changing our YouTube format drastically soon enough. I am currently building a studio. I talk about this a little bit more and more each week. Walls are standing, floor is laid, paint is being rolled. Some paint was done today, and then I guess I just gotta assemble all of the stuff for the inside of the studio. So I'm pretty excited to do that. Dead Picks, I see you out there. Dead Picks does our all our tech over on YouTube right now. It's property mine stuff. He'll have a bunch to do. So pretty excited to overwhelm him. And our other guys should be here pretty soon. Usman, I'm sure you watched the card last Saturday. Did you see the fucking Bulgarian fight?
There was about three fights that I missed, and the Bulgarian one was one of the fights that I missed. Same thing with the wrong zoo eyeball issue. I just was real busy yesterday or Saturday.
Bro, you have to go back and watch the Isaac Bulgarian fight. He fucking slammed the shit out of Marat. Then Marat tries some flying knee, like right out the gate. And then Marat tries some flying knee shit into the second round. And it went fucking nowhere for him. He's fucking got slammed right back down. I was hoping that they'd make it to a third round so that I could do a clip of the three slams because I figured another one was coming. Quick shout out to let our guys know we are inside of a week before all of our YouTube violations are gone, and then we can go back to posting a whole bunch of shit. But inside of a week on that, so pretty excited. We had 2 out of 3 strikes. They do expire. Advice to anybody tuning in late. I know between the two formats, we're at about 150 re-listens a week. I'm not sure who's listening to what part, but them listens are there every week. I appreciate you guys. Uh, Let me see here. So, did you see the Steve Garcia knockout?
Of course I did.
Well, you said you missed a bunch of fights. I'm like, man, I guess you didn't watch the card. I didn't know what the hell.
I said I missed
Hard
three.
time paying over 3 fights is like missing the whole card, basically. I'm just busting your chops. So Garcia got the knockout, which was nice. You missed the elbow, like you seen the replays, right? Like you went back and seen the fucking eye. Yeah. All right. Cade, nice to see you on the mic, bud. Where the hell have you been?
Shit, doing school. I've been in Washington D.C. Um, yeah, I've kind of been doing a lot of shit, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. I check you out, bro. I see your stuff. That's cool. What was you doing out in Washington D.C.?
Doing a conference for Francis and Renan, and then I went to the fights that week, and then yeah, Yeah, that was fun. That was a paid trip by the PFL. Thank you, PFL. Shout out.
Very
I couldn't
fucking
pass it
nice.
up.
Very nice. Yeah, can't be mad at that at all. Did you guys see Demetrius Johnson's retirement?
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty sad. You think it was time for him?
Yeah, I like what he said. I think he's being sincere when he says that his passion is just BJJ right now. That's all he wants to do. Um, yeah, I believe him. DJ's a pretty straightforward guy, good attitude. Doesn't He's never been a guy to bullshit, so I believe him, and I think he'll see success. He was talking to shit. What's that nerdy kid that does the jujitsu? What is his fucking name? Um, I'm so embarrassed I can't remember. He's the kid that got trained because he was bullied. Then he tapped out his bully, and anyways, the kid almost got to grapple with Volkanovski, and it got canceled. He was telling that to DJ in an interview, um, and I seen DJ just talking in that interview, like during that, about how much he loves BJJ, and yeah, I don't know. I think it's really sincere. And then I seen that Dana White was asked about if Demetrius Johnson will see the UFC Hall of Fame, and he said absolutely, which is cool. But then he went on to say how he used to defend Demetrius Johnson when he was in the
Yeah,
UFC.
I kind of thought that was some. I love Dana, but
Bullshit.
like I feel like that was a little bit of bullshit. Just for the simple fact that like obviously I think the fly because like bro, if me and you were having a conversation like I don't know 2 years ago, me and you would have probably agreed. Fuck, they're probably just gonna get rid of this division. Like this division fucking sucks. But now here we are 2 years later. There's a little bit more stock into it. Like, I don't know, bro. I feel like trading Demetrius Johnson for Ben Askren just never ever made sense to me. But other than the highlight knockout we got from Masvidal, but like, you literally traded DJ for fucking Ben Askren, bro. You didn't defend shit. I don't know.
No, okay, so I don't think he defended him at all. I think that's total fucking bullshit. We all know how Dana talked about canceling that division and all that other shit. But I think the UFC benefited from the Ben Askren trade. And the reason I say that is that they made more off Jorge knocking out Ben Askren than they did off of Demetrius Johnson's whole career. And that's not being shitty. DJ just didn't sell. He was great. And the UFC letting him go to one, I honestly felt like that was Dana White doing him a solid because everybody knew. Like, I'm not a rocket science. I knew rocket scientist. I knew Usman knew Kate. I'm sure you knew. We all knew he would be a big star over in the Asian market. And he just didn't resonate with American fans, with US fans. His style didn't translate to something people wanted to pay pay-per-views to see. And yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was sincerely a solid that they did for him when they let him go. I didn't think about dogging him out. So I think that it worked out well for them to get Ben Askren too, especially with the Robbie Lawler controversy. Everybody got really hot on the subject, and then he got fucking starched by Jorge. Um, that's got to be the top or one of the top viewed UFC moments in the past 10 years for sure. Like total
Yeah.
viewed clips, has to be.
Well, just because it was so, that was like, honestly, I mean, that was a picture perfect knockout if I haven't seen one. I mean, that was, yeah, you're probably right about that. That might even be the most viewed.
Yeah, I think it would have to be. It's as good as it gets. I mean, Jorge's lead up, his body language, the whole thing is just a beautiful clip. So I think it was a good trade for them, and I'm happy for DJ retiring with all of his wits about him. Usman.
I also think that that 125 division does get cut and kicked off the roster if DJ sticks around. So it ended up being good in multiple ways.
I think before you guys move on, I think one thing with DJ was like what you guys were saying about he doesn't sell is like everyone in today's world, especially in America, I feel like they like the shit talking, and the media, even the media, a lot of media members, they like to ask questions to start shit. But I feel like DJ never really entertained that shit. So he just never really DJ just put the gloves on when it was time to fight. Like he didn't really talk too much shit. He didn't really say too much. He's very quiet. So it was kind of hard for him to sell himself based on his personality. So, and I do feel like going to one, he still was able to carry his legacy. So I don't think it was like a bad thing for him, but I don't know. I feel like there's some interesting matchups that he could have fought in the UFC, but you guys might be right. The 125 division, if he was still running it, probably wouldn't even be around anymore because they just didn't really sell at all.
Yeah, yeah, and that I'm not knocking him. I just whatever it is, what it is. Usman.
Yeah, and then besides just the shit talking thing, it's like you really can't put any of the blame on him because for one, Dana wasn't only talking bad about him. Dana was talking shit about him. Dana never said anything positive about him. Yeah, I feel like the biggest thing that he did say about him was that he doesn't sell at all. Um, but he did go out and get those finishes. He did have spectacular performances. It was nobody's fault that people just weren't attracted to it. I think eventually the Ronda Rousey thing, if it would have kept going on and going on, people would have just said, "Okay, cool. She's gonna just get an armbar. Who gives a fuck? We don't care to watch anymore." Um, yeah, taking down the Giants at the top of the tower is what makes people a little more interested.
Yeah, I agree. And you guys know I'm a big Mark for Ariel show. I was listening to they did a special no video Spotify deal today and or yesterday. I don't know. I listened to it today and I heard I think it was Ariel or Rick referenced that DJ's personality just wasn't what it is just wasn't back then what it is now. He wasn't as comfortable on the mic. He didn't swear at all. He was very proper. Now he swears all the time. And just like and they referenced it. I'm kind of stealing their bit right now, and I try to never do that, but they hit it on the nose. Like even the way he grabbed the mic when they tried to take it back during his retirement, and he was like, "No, give me that mic back." And then he said, "I'm gonna walk out of here. They want me to get the belt back, but I'm gonna walk out of here as the champion with my black ass," or whatever he said. And like he wasn't confident like that back then, and he didn't sell with the flying armbar and shit that he hit. If he had a better personality back then, and not better personality, just was more confident on the mic back then, um, DJ could have been a seller. I think he could have. He wasn't there, so it just didn't hit. And going over to one seemed to do a lot for him. Um, yeah, I got to stick on that. Usman.
Yeah, like you'll hear him. I tune into his show every once in a while. Like for the Duplessis Adesanya breakdown, he was talking shit saying, "I'd destroy this division if I was that tall or I was that big." Like it would have been something else if back in the day he was talking that shit, saying stuff like, "Y'all guys better be lucky I'm 125 pounds and I'm 5'6" or 5'4". I'd fuck all y'all up. I'd kill everybody in this division. Like it would be something else to be like everybody would say, like, dude, that little guy's a killer and he talks shit. He wants to fight a 135 or a 45 or a 55 or, but that just wasn't how it was back then.
All right, so they got that little clip button down there. You guys probably want to go ahead and hit that now and get me while you can, because you know me. Um, Here's what I'll say: if you're talking pound for pound, greatest fighter of all time, meaning 125 pounds of this guy versus 125 pounds of that guy. 135 pounds of this guy versus 135 pounds of that guy. And you run that shit all the way up the list. The only person that is in the conversation with John Jones is Demetrius Johnson. And Demetrius Johnson, skill for skill, pound for pound, talent for talent, whatever term you can possibly come up with, Demetrius Johnson is John Jones's only competition, in my opinion. And I would not argue with, let me be honest, but I wouldn't argue too much with the statement of if someone placed DJ as the pound for pound greatest of all time. My only argument would be that he has losses. And that is what, where I would stand with my John Jones fucking side of it all. But that's just me being honest. Like, DJ's the only guy that really had that fucking talent. Yeah, whatever. Go ahead, clip me. You guys know I'm a fucking John Jones mark, and I never say any shit like that. But that's the truth of what it is. Wonder
Losses
Boy hopes
up
to
a
make the
weight
UFC.
class. That doesn't help either.
Yeah, and that's so then you start to argue the pound for pound and whatever. We won't go down that road. Wonder Boy hopes to retire in the UFC Hall, or hopes to make the UFC Hall of Fame. Trace picks fights. Nice to see you, bub. You got any money on this eye poke right there? Dana White Contender Series shout out. Dude just got poked in the eye. Well, Trace picks fights isn't on the mic, or he's muted and doesn't know it. Anyways, Usman, how do you feel about Wonder Boy hitting the Hall of Fame?
Oh, I would love for him to hit the Hall of Fame. I just don't think it's gonna happen. Sadly, he doesn't even get to fit into that damn fight category. He hasn't had an absolute all out banger of a fight. So sucks for a fighter that's so good and reached almost the tip top. I don't think he makes it.
No, he's never had many exciting fights, bro. Matter of fact, he's tagged with a couple of the most boring fights in history. Um, he, that's yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna dog on him. I like Wonder Boy. But did you watch him and Tyron Woodley not fight for 10 fucking rounds? Did you see that? Because I
Of
did.
course, of course.
Because I did. Cade.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go too in depth on this, but if I had to guess, I feel like he would possibly make the Hall of Fame just based on his wins, I guess. I mean, I understand he hasn't been in a lot of banger fights due to his style, but I mean, I feel like he would make the Hall of Fame for some reason. And I don't know if it was because of his style or whatnot, but I mean, at least we know he can get into a banger fight because that one with Kevin Holland was a fucking banger.
Yeah, I mean, he's had good moments. And, I shouldn't say never, but
No, I agree with you. He really hasn't had like looking back at it, he really hasn't had a lot of exciting fights. I'm just guessing he makes it because he won a championship. He was relevant for a while.
he never won the
Um,
title. Wonder Boy's
he
never been a
didn't.
champion.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He lost right when he fought for
Yeah.
it.
Yep, twice. He couldn't beat
Ah,
Woodley twice. So
that's right. That's right. It's very
he's
up in the air. It's very up in the air, bro.
so my feeling is one day the UFC will have an actual Hall of Fame that you can go to Vegas, Nevada. You can maybe pay a few bucks to get in the building, and it will be a legit Hall of Fame where you can go and visit it. And I feel like when they do that, and it's a physical place and not just a hallway and a stairway at their facility, when it becomes an actual building, I feel like you'll have room for eras, or a legends division or a pillars division, like where they're a pillar of the company, or even like I said, in eras, like you have your champions wing and your legends wing, or your pioneer wing and your founders wing. Um, Maybe we see a media wing and some other wings. And I feel like if the UFC ever gets to the point where they decide to put an actual building up, and then maybe host Fight Week there every year or something, you would see guys like Wonder Boy have a great case. Even a guy like Gilbert Burns eventually have a great case within his era. He's a Hall of Famer for his era of fighters. Dustin Poirier, Hall of Famer for his era of fighters. So I just feel like the Hall of Fame will eventually get there. I don't know if that's 5 years or 25 years from now, where we see guys like Wonder Boy brought in. But in the next 10 years, I do not see Wonder Boy making the Hall of Fame. I could be off, but I would guess maybe at the tail end of 10 years, but not in the next, not any earlier than that, is what I would leave that at. Conor McGregor's not fighting until 2025. Conor McGregor is not fighting. Conor McGregor is not fighting. He is going to get out of his UFC contract, hell or high water, and he is going to be KFC, or he's not fucking fighting. Yep, that is what it is. Islam versus Arman, early 2025, no interim title. At 155, I think Islam has earned it. No interim title seems correct. I think they should wait for him. He's a pretty active champion. It feels like he's making big fights. I think they should wait for him. Mike, I did see you grab a mic down there. I know you and Trace got bets on this card, so you're probably staring at it, bro. But anytime you want to hop in, brother, feel free. Usman, get after it.
So that basically answers the question that we were talking about last week about when Bilal comes back to defend his belt. Um, it's either they put him on a Islam card, which is going to be that April card or the March card, or they don't put him on there and we're not going to see him till fucking summer. Jesus.
Oh, who could have predicted that? Who would have been the prick that said that right away? Yeah, he's not fucking fighting till almost fight week, bro. He'll probably be the June headliner. That's my guess. June. Chicago, what used to be the Chicago card. Usman.
Yeah, I guess since we're raising victory flags and whatnot, another little semi headline. Did you hear about Mikey Musumeci for one this past Saturday? I'll take that as a no. Yeah, he was scheduled to fight short.
Oh, I was muted. That's the nerdy kid,
Yeah, the
right?
nerdy kid.
That's the kid I was saying was talking to DJ and said he almost was set up to grapple with Volkanovski. Anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, short notice. Had to pass the hydration test and cut weight. Didn't make it. Had to get medically suspended. Tore his lung. I guess you can tear your lung from cutting weight. And I believe they stripped him. Why I'm bringing this up was because there are some podcasts that I hate watch. Shout out Morning Combat with Luke Thomas, and boy was doing a big victory lap about bragging about how hydration tests are bullshit and they've always been bullshit. I had to go and search. I know I've been complaining about hydration tests since the time that they've been brought up. Uh, in 2022, I was here talking shit. Hydration tests are absolute bullshit, mumbo jumbo, fake words just to make it seem like, oh, weight cutting has been solved. Weight cutting is a problem of the past. And yeah, it's not. Once again, I've always said it. I don't give a fuck about weight cutting. I don't care if you want to destroy your body to make it to the weight to try and get an advantage. It's just going to happen as a part of our sport. Stop complaining about it.
You know about the war on one right now?
I know about Raw's war. I don't know what's going on over there. Oh, well, I know a lot of fighters are pissed off.
Okay, yeah. So you know who Mr. Is it Mr. Awesome? I think that's the promoter or the face of Karate Combat. You know the guy I'm talking about, bald
Oh
guy?
yeah. The guy who put that corner man in a rear naked choke.
Probably. I didn't see that, but he's been on Bisbing's podcast. He's been on Ariel's deal. I think I just heard him telling Bisbing that they have like hashtag war on one. So a bunch of one got really mad and called one of the fighters and said, if you do the Karate Combat event, we're going to cut you. And I can't remember who it was, but it was a really big star for Karate Combat. I should have typed it out, but I actually forgot to add this to the notes. So the guy pulls from the card short notice, kind of fucks Karate Combat. Even though Karate Combat had already cut a deal and one cleared it. So after all this goes down, Mr. Awesome is talking to people, fighters from one, and they treat their fighters like shit. They intentionally bench them and then tell them, hey, we don't got a card for you at that pay, but if you want to do a 13 and 13 real quick to get some money, we can throw one of those together for you. If you need a 8 and 8, 8,000, 8,000, we throw a card together like that for you real quick if you just need to get a fight in. But we don't have MMA for you. We can get you a jiu-jitsu fight, or we can get you, and they are intentionally benching their fighters until the fighters agree to take less money than they were contracted for. So he's going hard at it, and he's trying to give them a voice and give them a place to fight. I believe some of them have clauses in their contract that allow them to do Karate Combat. So he personally is going after one, and we all know one's fucking shaky and going bankrupt anyway. That'll be no good for him. Go ahead, Usman.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up that Reiner de Ritter. I don't know if he just lost his belt or he lost his opportunity for double champ status, but keep an eye out for that because he is going to be in a massive lawsuit with one because they were basically benching him, and he said, "Fuck it, I don't give a damn. I'm taking a fight in the Emirates this weekend," and I think it was this past weekend or it's coming up. Um, what's the Emirates fight league? Is it Brave? Yeah, I
EAW.
want to say it's EAW, and he just fought or is going to be fighting soon, and says I don't give a damn about my contract. Y'all can sue me, or we can figure something else out because I'm fighting.
Yeah, all their fighters are going to have to do this. And the problem, here's the problem that they're going to have, honestly. Um, One's going to threaten to sue them and do all this shit, right? So then they'll be like, yo, well, we'll sue you back. So then they're going to have to try to countersue one. And somewhere in the interim, a judge may tell fighters, like, you can't fucking fight, at least not in this land, right? Um, which stalls those fighters out. And even if they win their lawsuit, one doesn't have any money to pay them. One's broke. I've been telling you guys this. One's burning through almost as much money per day as fucking PFL is. They're broke. They ain't got shit. I don't know how one is still operating. Like, dead serious. So they throw out these numbers where they're like, oh, 300,000 something bonus or 100,000 bonus or whatever fucking money they use, bro. I've looked it up. It's like a $5,000 win bonus, performance bonus, knockout bonus. It's like
Are
$5,000
you talking
US.
about this fighter just won 75,000 baht?
Yes, bro. It's like $5,000 or $8,000. Like, it's fucking
Asian
nothing.
Mario Lopes is
US.
the best part of one.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Uh, I don't know. I just feel like we're gonna see the fall of 2020 prediction. I think the fighters of one just leaving the country they are contracted in and going to fight elsewhere will do more for fighter rights than the PFL or that lawsuit ever will. I think you're going to see a couple hundred fighters walk away from one and tell them to get to fuck off. And then when they realize that one can only prosecute them basically in China, they're going to realize that like the UFC can't prosecute you in every court in every land in the fucking world. So UFC fighters or PFL fighters might go, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing. Fuck you. And that will probably have a bigger effect than anything else we have seen. So I don't know. In my opinion, that's something to watch for, or yeah, I guess I would say something to watch for, or an angle to think about. MMA Guru, my spies in New Zealand are telling me that Adesanya got into a road rage incident where he got pressed by a member of the public who Adesanya then spat on. Rumor has it that Adesanya stood in an enemy stance before trashing the quality of the other man's car. The man is alleged to have flexed his biceps, which he did, in Adesanya's face before Adesanya spat on him and said, "I dare you to try me." They were baiting him. Did you guys see the video? I see Usman hit the 100. They were baiting him. They were trying to get a viral moment. That's why it was being recorded. I for them it was either they get a viral moment or they sue the shit out of him, or both. They were trying to set themselves up for like a win-win-win-win, and that it just didn't play out the way they thought it would. Initially, when I heard Izzy spit on him, I was like, bro, fuck him. Because I think Izzy isn't a great human being. But after I seen the video and seen that they were being real race baity and like getting in his face and shit, I still don't think he should have spit on him. But I guess I just wasn't as mad at Izzy about it. Another Dana White Contender Series fight goes to decision. What a fucking surprise. Has there been a finish this week on this card?
First fight of the night, woman gets an armbar.
This fight was also.
Yeah, this was a TKO.
Was it? I thought, was that a knockout? I had my notes open in front of it and tried to go back. Okay, my bad. Apologies. I missed the armbar. I seen the one right before the space started, and I was trying to watch this one, and I thought it went to decision, but that's what I get for reading my notes. What bet you got on this one, Mike? This card?
I have this one. The first leg went through, and then I have Navajo in the main event.
Okay. Trace, you got any plays on this card?
I put the African fighter a little while ago at plus 140. Got 2.5 units on him. So I came out a little bit. I came out away with like came away 3 units positive. Jesus.
Gotcha.
And I am looking for over 1.5 in these next 2 fights to cash the 4-leg, baby. Come on.
Man, what'd you get the 4-leg at, if you don't mind me asking?
Plus 730 or something. I sent it in the cap team room chat.
Yeah, I was paying the studio
797,
and shit.
boy.
The last leg.
What'd you say, Trace?
What do you need for the last leg?
These next 2 over 2.5.
One fight got canceled. There's only one fight left, I think.
All right, cool. Just one more over 1.5. Let's get it.
And cash those mystery odds. Dead Picks. Getting on the mic here. Dead Picks, what's happening, bud? I don't know. He grabbed the mic, but he doesn't want to talk to me.
Yo. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Usman, you said next 2 legs. I'm pretty sure they canceled that Cody Steele fight.
Let's get it. Last leg. Come on.
Usman's like, just fucking let me win. That's all that fucking matters. Let's see. Let's see. Octagon 62. Deutsche Park. Deutsche Bank Park Stadium in Frankfurt has apparently sold out 58,000 tickets for for Octagon 62, October 12th. I gotta say, I there are promotions out there that are on the right path, that are tracking in the right direction, that are going to have real share in their regions for themselves. It's not the places like PFL that are trying to reach the whole globe to compete specifically with the UFC. It's these guys that don't really give a shit about the UFC. Karate Combat is doing pretty well. They don't give a shit about the UFC. They don't need to talk about them. I know they're not MMA, but just these guys that sincerely don't acknowledge that the UFC is something they're trying to catch or do seem to do well. And I don't know, 58,000 fans in a stadium. I would say that the UFC would have to put together a banger of a card to sell 58,000 seats in a stadium. So shout out Octagon Combat for that. Ali Abdelaziz posted at Notorious MMA. Tell the people why you got kicked out of Monaco and the real reason you're not fighting. Smiley face. Notably, Connor did not attend Monaco, and he had prior. The next morning, Conor McGregor announced the next morning here. I don't know what the time frame was there. Conor McGregor announced that he is running for president in Ireland. He wrote a long ass tweet. I don't really want to read it. I seen the poll that they did. They polled like 50,000 Irish people or something, and 71% said they would not support Conor McGregor to become president. I don't know how serious he is, but for me, it's just more proof he's not fucking fighting. Uh, Usman, are you voting McGregor 2025?
Oh, I'm voting McGregor 2025, and I hope he wins and then comes back to fight so Dana can yell, "The President of Ireland, the notorious Conor McGregor."
And then he can talk, and then Dana can talk about how he negotiated a peace deal between Trump and the president of Ireland. It'll be phenomenal for business for Dana White. Think they'll put that shit in the promo or just mention it at the post-fight press conference?
It'll get its own video.
Fucking for sure. Man, I gotta say, I see the Power Slap commercial running on the Dana White Contender Series right now. If they would speed up the pacing a lot on the Power Slap cards, I would be way more apt to want to watch them. I feel like the pacing is kind of slow for what we get. Like fight to fight or slap to slap or match to match, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't care. I feel like the pacing is shit. So, I just seen Connor J posted 20 minutes ago. Wonder Boy should make the Hall of Fame. I don't disagree. I just don't think it's there yet. Like I said, yeah, I would be way more apt to watch Slap if the pacing was better. There's a card that has like 250,000 views on YouTube. It's 8 or 9 month old card, and it came on while I was working on the studio, and it wasn't bad to watch at all. But the pacing was fucking horrible. And some of the athletes are pretty fucking cheesy, if I'm being totally honest, with the way they talk shit to each other and stuff. But I mean, whatever. They're guys that want to slap each other for a living, so right on to them. Did everybody see Tony Ferguson's big news?
I saw that he has big news. I don't know what the news is.
Hair plugs.
Dude, he's about to get that belt. I promise you. Hair plugs are going to be a whole different thing. Look at what it did to freaking Paul Craig.
I'm not lying though, bro. That was really he was like big changes, big news coming up. I'm on the 11th floor. He posts this video, bro, and then he makes another video. He's got his head all traced up for fucking hair plugs. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? My buddy said it might be a hair transplant. He said they'll take hair off the lower back part of your head and put it up in the front, and it'll adapt and grow, and then you just stay with a fade so that you don't need hair back there or whatever. Whatever. Ruben Carter at Real Ruben King posted breaking news. Tony Ferguson, Nate Diaz targeted for UFC 311 January 2025. Um, did you get that one on your announcements, Usman?
He is not a credible source, so no.
Sometimes he's a credible source.
Very, very rarely. I'm not gonna say he's always wrong, but he's got a couple.
I would say if I announced every fight that I think was going to happen, I would get a couple
Hey, I know I've gone 2 for 2.
too.
I am forever gonna hold on to Josh Emmett coming in late notice uh, against Bryce Mitchell, and that was a Awaken My Usman announcement specific.
That's fair. I just don't care about it. If it's Tony versus Nick, I wouldn't even want to see it. That's like an opener. That's like an early prelims fight.
Wait, I'm
Maybe.
sorry to interject. You said Tony versus Nick. Like what?
Yeah. Ruben Carter is saying that Tony versus Nick is targeted for 311.
And afterwards, you take both of them out to the back and put them both down. Old the other style.
Fucking shoot both
I
of
love
them.
those guys. Well, those guys are my guys, bro. To see them fight, that would be. I'm betting the house on both.
Bro, that would be the most geriatric looking fight we've ever seen.
Give it to me, man. Give it to me, please. Let a young boy, a young dead picks live out his dream.
What else do I got here? Jedi Goodman posted some stats at Jedi Goodman posted some stats for 2024 for the UFC, 30 events, 369 fights, 248 favorites have won, 4 no contested, no 4 no 6 pick'ems, 4 no contest. Red corner 187, blue corner 178, 4 no contests, 164 finishes, 103 knockouts, 61 submissions, 199 decisions, 150 unanimous decisions, 47 split decisions, 2 majority decisions, 4 no contests, 2 disqualifications. 199 decisions out of 369 fights. Does the consensus think that that's a lot of decisions or not a lot of decisions?
199 out of how many?
369.
Yeah, 50% is pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm figuring. It's a little under 50%. I don't think that's too bad. I wonder if we bet the fight goes to decision every single fucking time if we'd make any money, though. Shit's hitting at over 50 fucking percent. All them women's ones that give you shit odds would probably throw that out the money. You out the window. You wouldn't make any fucking money. Bo Nickel went funny and posted about AI picking him as the favorite against a chimp. Listen, man, Bo Nickel's getting his face ripped off by a fucking chimp. I just want to put that out there. Dana White revealed his Mount Rushmore top 4 UFC fighters of all time: GSP, Conor, Ronda, John. For me, it was very obvious. The 4 biggest pay-per-view sellers in UFC history are GSP, Conor, Ronda, John. So I understand why that's a promoter's Mount Rushmore. Usman, how do you feel about that list?
My only take is get Ronda Rousey off and put Nunes back on.
Uh, I mean, I'm not mad at that. I think Nunes is. I don't know. It's she. I get. I understand Ronda like put the women on the map. Like I don't know. It's very hard. If a woman's got to be there, in my heart, it's like Chris Cyborg or Misha Tate. But I guess Ronda Rousey lifted them to like superstardom. Trace, you on your mic? Take that as a no. Um,
brother.
who's the first female UFC fighter you were like, I got to see them fight?
Oof. Man, I guess Cyborg. I would say she was first real girl that you kind of seen that had finishing ability that was just submissions. Could go out there and really put a girl.
Yeah, I guess if it was MMA, it would be more Misha Tate or Chris Cyborg. To be fair, I guess if we're talking UFC, it probably is Ronda Rousey would be the female rep.
The first girl that I knew was like a star for for women's MMA was actually oh crap, I can't think of her name now, but she played in like the Deadpool movie. She's an actress.
Gina Carano.
Like Gina
Yep.
Carano. She was Ronda Rousey before Ronda Rousey in a sense, like nowhere near the level of success or popularity, obviously, but she was like the first pretty face in MMA for women.
Yeah, her and Misha Tate. I feel like Misha gets overlooked a lot, but Cupcake Tate she was a fucking staple in early women's MMA. But again, we're talking pre
Still a
women's
staple.
UFC. What's that?
So she's still a staple in my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Um, Usman, you want to throw a few announcements out there?
So we only got 8. So we can go through them all right now, or we can go 4 and 4. Up to you.
Let's see how quick we go through some of them. Let's see what they are.
Okay, September 28th, UFC Paris. AJ Cunningham is out. Morgan Charrier will be fighting Gabriel Miranda.
Okay. Okay. What
It's a good
else?
get back spot for that Morgan Charrier pirate guy. October 5th, UFC 307, if I am correct without looking at it. That is in Utah. We're looking at Tim Means versus Court McGee, Old Dog versus Old Dog, Vet versus Vet. Yeah.
I seen that posted. Fun fight should be on the same card as Tony versus Nick.
But at the same time, just like no thanks.
Yeah. No thanks, you said?
And just like why do I have to watch that in the UFC? That's some Bellator PFL type shit.
That's why I said it should be on the same card as Nick and fucking Tony because, bro, fuck that. That's, yeah, I don't even want to say. I'll watch it. I shouldn't say, I can say I don't want to see it, but I'm gonna. It's like, the car crash that's coming. You don't want to see it, but are you going to turn your head? Because I'm not. So, is what it is. What?
Okay, on that same card, we're getting a rebooking of Oven St. Preux versus Ryan Spann. Woohoo.
Yeah, I hope Ryan gets the finish. Not I Same shit. I don't want to see OSP fight in the UFC no more. But the division is so fucking shallow. He's got job security for probably another 5 fucking years.
Man, give me Ovens all day. I hope he knocks his ass out.
Bro, OSP looks so slow.
Give me the Von Prue. He can be slow on that ground as long as he.
I mean, that's fair, but man, he looks so slow to me where I'm just like, man, no disrespect. Just fuck. When you gotta know when you're slowing down as a fighter. What the
For
fuck?
all of us who are going to take a shot on OSP, I hope the odds are even worse this time around so we can get better lines.
I wish that for you. I wish that for you.
All right. Number 4, October 12th, the GOAT is back. Dan Argueta will fight debutante Cody Haddon.
Did Cody Haddon fight on the Contender Series?
Yes, I believe so.
The name is very familiar. If I remember right, I think Patton was the favorite, right? So it's like if I can get Argueta at dog money against a debutante, why not?
Yeah, I'd probably.
Maybe
I
not
would
against
agree with
Cody
you.
Haddon.
What was that, Mike?
Mike, what'd you say, bud?
I said not against Cody Haddon, man. Cody Haddon's the real deal.
Well, you've heard it said. Mike warned you.
Every real deal has to be taught a lesson by a GOAT.
Oh, Jesus Christ, with this goat shit.
October
What else you got?
19th, Ryan Dos Santos versus Elise Ardeline.
I'll take the over.
If you didn't want to talk about that girl's fight, there's another girl fight on the card, October 19th. Jocelyn Edwards versus Tamrice Vidal.
So I am slowly starting to like to watch Jocelyn Edwards fight. Vidal sucks.
Oh, no, I'm definitely a Jocelyn Edwards fan. Um, if any over is a free over, that's a free over right there.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like Jocelyn Edwards she will be an Angela Hill. Sincere, like she's getting more fun to watch. Um, with age, I'm not worried about her finishing a whole bunch of people. Um, and I feel like she's going to be a person that can give us 5 rounds of volume in the next couple of years, like just the way she's training and the way she's coming along. So, I don't know. I'm starting to watch Jocelyn Edwards fight. I don't know if I would say that I'm a fan yet, but I enjoy watching her fight at this point.
Keep in mind, Tamres Vidal is the girl that totally ruined our over against Melissa Gatto via tit punch. So, yeah, just keep that
Yeah,
in
I
mind.
know who she is. She sucks. She fucking sucks.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if there's anybody that's gonna ruin a Jocelyn Edwards freaking over, it's gonna be fucking Vidal.
I got you. I got you. All right. Well, fair enough.
All right, I guess we'll just finish through these. October 26th, UFC 308 in Abu Dhabi. We're looking at Bruno Silva versus Ismail Nardiev, something like that.
Ismail's only got one fight in the UFC, right?
I believe so.
I would have to go look. Not some guys I'm very familiar with. You got any bangers on there?
No. Oh wow, how dare I lie? The last fight is Ricky Tercius versus Bernardo Sopai.
All right. I'll be happy to see Ricky Church fight. I agree. He's a he. I don't know. I like him. I like Ricky. I think he's an all right guy. So whatever. I hope him well. Hopefully it's a fucking layup, but I don't think he's the guy they're trying to throw layups to. So Wouldn't be
Oh no,
surprised if it's a fight that's not favorable for him.
yeah, Bernardo is not going to be a layup. Um, you can bet on Ricky's toughness to hopefully get us that over 2.5, though.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll probably look into that fight because I like Ricky. So
If you don't
if I want to
remember,
bet,
Bernardo Sopai is the guy that went almost 3 rounds with a Vinicius Lope dog and then took the disgusting running knee up against the cage that dead bodied him.
oh, I do remember that. I do remember that. All right, I'm gonna take Ricky, man. Fuck that. I'm gonna ride with my guy Ricky Tercios. I'm taking him. Parlay his ass somewhere on something. I'm gonna take him.
I mean, if you're taking Ricky, you take
What
the
else?
over and you win. That's the last fight.
That's
That's
it.
it. Only 8 today.
Slow week for the UFC. All right, only a few more minutes, and we're just gonna jump into the card. I'm trying to let the this fight. I got a bunch of topics, but I'm just gonna let the last fight on the contender series here end, and then we'll start peeling into the card. But we'll let that fight get over with. Bellator San Diego salaries were released. Big winners of the night made $100,000. That was Usman win bonus and Lorenz Larkin no win bonus. Nobody else broke six figures. Sean Rose made $2,000. Ashley Thiner made $4,000. Herman Torado made $7,500. Mackenzie Stiller made $13,000. Um, yeah, and several people made, or a couple people made like 13 to win, 13 to show. Ashley Thinner was 2,000 to win, 2,000 to show. So all that bullshit, fucking Jake Paul's part of the PFL, doing more for fighters, all that. Fuck that bullshit. 2,000 and 2,000. Them motherfuckers are on ESPN burning through $100,000 a day in revenue. Legitimately burning through $100,000 a day in fucking revenue. And you're telling me you can't pay somebody more than 2 and 2? Fuck that. PFL is poisonous
Did y'all just
to
see
MMA.
that?
Oh, shut up, Mike. You know I had that over and I freaking lose it by 11 seconds. You son of a bitch.
Oh
God
my
damn, I'm like
damn!
40.
I just realized that. Fuck, I did too.
Bro, I'm still haven't seen it. I'm like 40 fucking seconds behind you guys. What the fuck? So now I'm sitting here waiting. I lost all track. Damn. Well, Sterling knocked out Latu or Ladu. Sterling's getting a UFC contract, in case anybody missed that. He's getting a fucking UFC contract. Usman,
Oh, he probably will, but he don't deserve one, dude. That fight sucked.
he's still going to get it. Usman,
Yeah, just to put you back on track. Yes, PFL is on ESPN. Bellator has its own special deal with HBO Max or the Max app. So they got money. They got money. Don't worry.
oh,
Fighter pay is nothing you have to worry about over there in that other company.
no, you don't have to worry about it at all because there is none. Their fucking champions make $100,000. Bro, do you know, like, sincerely, Usman Nurmagomedov would be a top 5 guy, probably making 180, $200,000 a fight because he would be a draw because of his name. Like, bro, $100,000 to Nurmagomedov seems ridiculously low. I also feel like Lorenz Larkin in the UFC would probably be seeing more than $100,000, man.
Maybe not at this point in his career. He's missed a lot with the injuries or what, but He's been very active throughout his career,
Yeah,
honestly.
but what I
Uh,
was gonna bring up is also consider how long he's been with freaking Bellator. Like,
but he's talking UFC wise. He said the UFC could probably make more, but like he doesn't. He's not as active, and he's getting older now. So I can't imagine his values going up anymore.
So what? To be fair, and I'm not just like I did consider like I was thinking when I said that, meaning like if his career was with the UFC, just like I guess I was just trying to say like even on grandfather clause, he would make more money in the UFC. And it like it or not, he's one of Bellator's stars. They don't
But
have a lot of star power.
he fought in the UFC, right? He left the UFC for Bellator for more money. So I don't
Back
know.
then. But it's not more money now, is what I'm saying. Like
What I'm saying is his value is, I would say his stock has dropped, if anything, because honestly, when he went to Bellator, I thought like, oh yeah, dude, he's about to go over there and clean up, and he really hasn't.
that's fair. That's fair. Maybe I'm still holding on to some of that. Exactly what you're talking about.
I'm
But
not trying to be a buzzkill because I'm a huge fan of the guy. Like I wanted him to do good. It doesn't materialize for whatever reason.
you want to know one that bums me out sincerely and honestly, and I don't know why? Yancy Medeiros only made 25 grand. Bro, I liked Yancy Medeiros. I wish he would have stayed in the UFC. He wasn't like everybody can't be a winner. You know what I'm saying? Like he was still fun to watch. I still really liked Yancy. So I don't know, man. Pretty fucking bummed that to see that he's fighting for 25 grand right now. I feel like I don't know. I just feel like he probably had more value than that.
I felt he got more fame from getting his ass beat by Dustin Poirier than anything. Like I don't know that his career itself. It was just like you said. It really was his skills. It was always just people were kind of amazed with how tough he was and the beatings he was able to take, and he's not really able to take him anymore. Uh, big fan of. I wouldn't say I was a big fan of Yancy Medeiros, but I can understand where he would build up a cult following for people just because of his toughness and shit like that. Kind of like a cabbage type fighter.
Yeah, bro. Like for me, if you would tell me to put him in what ask me what catalog he's in, a fighter, it would be the same catalog that I put Darren Elkins in. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter if you win or lose. I'll watch you fight. Like anytime you're going out there, I'm willing to watch because chances are I'm gonna feel like, man, that was a good ass fight when it's over.
Yeah,
I can't.
very good person to use for an example of Hawaiian spirit and just being down to throw. Whenever he's behind, he's not going to sit on a lead if he's ahead, and he sure as hell ain't going to wait for you to bring the fight to him if he's behind.
Yeah, for sure. Like I don't know, man. There's just a few guys like I just know you're gonna give me a fight, and Yancy was always one of them guys for me. So, man, I just wish shit would have worked out better for him. Usman,
yeah, he was always fun, and he falls into the perfect category of a GM3 fighter. So he would have probably had a pretty good career if he stayed in the UFC. 25,000 absolutely fucking sucks. I mean, I'll go get my ass whipped there for 25, but sucks for him.
yeah. At this point, just the amount of fights he's had over there, um, he probably would have leveled up to six figures at the UFC by now. Like you're getting six figures, 75,000 to 120,000 or 125,000 on like your fourth contract, right? As long as your wins over loss or some shit. So I think he would have been there. I don't know how many fights he's actually done for Bellator, but man, it seems like he would have fucking been there. But I don't know if he got released or wanted to go. A lot of them guys wanted to go back then. They felt like when Bellator started taking talent that was not just washed up UFC talent, they felt like they could go over there and win those Grand Prix and make some money. But same thing we're going to see in PFL. They can't all win. You know, Douglas Lima made 50 grand. All right, I'm done with that. Doug, I can't believe Douglas Lima fights for 50 fucking grand, no bonuses. I don't know, just surprising to me. Did you guys see Ian Gary fucking? Did you see his wife post the video of him with flowers while she's like standing on what I think is like a fucking balcony or looking out of a window with her phone, like kind of trashing him, saying like when he knows he's in the doghouse or whatever the fuck. That woman, I don't even know what to say. He should leave that bitch. That's what I think. My wife fucking put me on social media when I'm trying to bring flowers and say I'm sorry. My wife wouldn't do that shit to start. Bro, I can't fucking believe she did it. So then he tweets December 24, undefeated versus undefeated. 5 rounds. Let's make it happen. At Rachmaninoff 1994. Rachmaninoff 1994 replies, be careful what you wish for. Just because Leia and your nutritionist go 25 minutes doesn't mean you can. Your end awaits. I was fucking dying. I won't lie. Like, this dude, at this point, I'm wondering, like, was it fake? Did she post him up like that just because they knew it would get attention, even if it's bad attention? Because unless there's like some headline reason, I don't feel like Ian Gary is very relevant. I don't feel like he resonates with fans. I don't feel like he's a guy that people are crazy about when he's not fighting or not making headlines. Yeah, I feel like this is just another fucking attempt. Usman.
I have nothing to say about that other than Sean Brady called him Ian Magado Cherry, and that's his name from now on. Ian Magado Cherry cracked me the fuck up.
Yeah, that shit that shit was hysterical. Yeah, it was. To be fair, he had just fought. He wasn't that far off. Do you think he did it on purpose?
I hope so. I don't think so, but I hope so.
uh, Sean O'Malley. Did you guys see Sean O'Malley go on Henry and Usman's podcast? I forget the name of their podcast, but Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo have a podcast. Did you guys see Sean O'Malley go on there?
Yes.
He says, I'm a very, very busy man. I'm here for 2 reasons. Kamaru, you're an absolute legend. Henry, how did you let Eljo take you down? So easy, I think he said. Then he laughed and said, I think he said, you're welcome, maybe, or something like that. Then he hung the fuck up. And Kamaru goes, oh, did we lose him? And Henry just starts laughing. He goes, no, he got me, or he got us. And then Usman goes, he got you. And Henry goes, no, no, he got us. And then Henry was all bitter because that's the type of person he is. And he said later in the show, he said that he heard Sean's having troubles in training camp and can't defend the takedowns. Says that they share a few training partners, and word is getting back to him that Sean cannot defend the takedowns. So I really think that Henry's just being a bitter motherfucker. Usman, I know you love Henry, but you got to admit it was funny.
Oh yeah, it cracked me up, and I think I know who that training partner would be that would be leaking information back. But
Tell me about it, motherfucker. Who?
well, y'all know I only watch one podcast when it comes to taking betting tips and stuff like that, and that's Santino DeFranco, the coach there at Fight Ready, and he hosts it with
Wait a minute. The coach at Fight Ready gives betting advice?
yes.
What the fuck?
Shave crust there, boy.
Look, hey, to be fair, he doesn't talk about his fights or the fighters that he coaches.
Bro, All right. Okay.
So he's coaching. He's
Okay.
coaching Aoriqileng and didn't say anything about it. Who's fighting Raul Rosas, but he also spent some time with Sean O'Malley, and did not give a breakdown or anything uh, about the fight either.
All right. Um, the tall guy. Hey, the big tall guy got the fucking contract. Is he heavyweight or light heavyweight?
That's middleweight, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, middleweight.
Bro,
Yeah,
Dana White just looked straight up to shake that guy's hand.
that division's so dead, bro. They need somebody in there, even if he is a boring fighter until he lands his big punch or
Hey,
whatever.
you know what, man? I'm going to start becoming a middleweight defender. That division is not dead. I think you're talking about light heavyweight.
Oh, light heavyweight 100% is dead, but middleweight isn't really thriving either.
What are you talking
You have
about?
people at the top, but you don't have like a whole lot of up and comers. It's not like the 55, 45, and 35 where you just have an onslaught of contenders. You know what I'm saying?
You got
Y'all talking
MVP.
about
There's rumors
Navajo?
MVP.
Yes, Navajo.
Navajo's a light heavyweight.
I thought he was talking about the tall bald guy. I'm not watching the show, but the tall bald guy was
I'm
a
talking about the
middleweight.
tall blonde guy.
Oh,
The
no,
tall
he didn't
blonde
make.
guy.
He didn't get the contract. The blonde did though.
Bald guy who knocked out
Yeah.
the Asian didn't get the contract? Bill Guri or some shit like that?
No.
No,
Oh, okay. Well, shit.
Damn.
that
Dana
fight,
White
that
guy.
that that Asian guy should have been knocked out so early on that fight. He was so wide open, and he didn't even throw punches very well. Yeah, that guy. If he was any kind of good striker himself, he should have been able to put that guy away pretty quickly.
Fair enough. A couple minutes, and we're just gonna roll over. Let me see if I got any one last category. Noche tickets are down to $513. Let's see here. Jeremy Stevens and might finally get his fucking revenge, being able to box Conor McGregor and BKFC. They seem to agree to a fight. Jorge wants to return to fight either Leon or Michael Chandler. There are AI jiu-jitsu robots with breakable limbs now. Yep, that was my whole list. So I got some stuff I'm going to run off because it's all about UFC Noche, and then we'll just roll right into the cards. So Show Me the Money at Show Me the Pod posted this ticket price is official, or excuse me, this ticket price crash is officially historic. And it shows that UFC 306 tickets that started at $3,000 are now $513. Oscar De La Hoya posted, don't watch Canelo, don't go to Canelo, watch 306 because it's for the Mexican people or some shit. Dana White has explained how the sphere will work. He's explained that there will be movies, there are chapters and different worlds as the card goes on. There will be movies between the fights. Yay. So Bruce Buffer and a fucking 20-minute promo. Yay. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Ariel Hawani posted um, at Ariel Hawani some interesting factoids about UFC 306 this weekend per the promotion. This will be the first 1080p TV broadcast of a UFC event in ESPN history. First time UFC has ever used haptic seats during an event. Haptic seats provide force feedback based on action in the octagon. So, if somebody gets picked up and fucking slammed, everybody's seat in the building is going to shake.
Not everybody, sadly. Only the middle.
Why
Only
not?
the middle seats. I did not buy a haptic seat. Son of a bitch.
Are you going to 306?
I'm going to 306, bro.
Since when, motherfucker?
Since like, oh well, you're not on Twitter anymore. Since like Friday.
No shit. What'd you buy your tickets for?
670.
Man, me and my buddy talked about it like 3 days ago. We talked about it and just were like, nah, fuck it. We talked about going in for 36 hours. Like, land, go to sleep, wake up, have one day in Vegas, hit the card, fucking come back home. We've done Vegas so
No,
much.
here's my
We'd
here's
be
my itinerary. I fly from here to Houston at 11, get to Vegas at 3, go to the Sphere. Fight start at 4:30. My flight to leave home is 6 in the morning. I'm not even gonna get a hotel room, bro. I'm going to the fights. I'm gonna grab something to eat, maybe hit a blackjack table, and get my ass back to the airport and take a nap before I fly back home.
a good man, bro. Listen, the only way to leave Vegas is at 6 in the morning. I do it every time I go. I will I will base my whole fucking trip around getting a 6 a.m. flight home. There's just no other way to get the fuck out of Vegas. And you always stay up to leave. So, fucking applause to you. Make sure you hit some videos, bro, of what it's like in there. I know you'll be busy, but just let us see. Spin the video in there and post some shit in the chat. You know, that's badass. And,
So I got a friend who he's a degenerate gambler and doesn't win all the time. But he said, "Hey man, if I can win this weekend, if I can win enough to get a ticket and a plane ride, I'll go with you." And lucky week, Afro pulls out 1,500 on UFC, and he's going to Noche with me.
damn, bro, I'll be honest. I now wish me and my buddy would have grabbed the tickets when we were talking about it. Fuck, I'm pretty bummed. It would have been cool as fuck.
But
Whatever. So you're not getting a haptic
they're only
seat?
getting cheaper. Right now, my section is down to 630, I believe. And no, the haptic seats
Yeah,
are only direct middle.
fair enough. Will be the first time a UFC event at a UFC event that fans attend can listen to live audio for the whole event in Spanish. Like, are there headphones or something? I'm not
No, the
sure.
way you're gonna do it is you're gonna download an app, Bluetooth it to your headphones. You got to bring your own headphones, and then you can listen to it. Yeah, and it's gonna give you the option to do it in English and Spanish. I'm taking my headphones and I'm listening to it in English. Fuck Spanish. I want to hear Joe Rogan and DC go nuts about this shit.
I don't blame you. That's often my only complaint is that I don't have the audio when I go to the fights. I've talked about how I wish I could hear them in my ear. Ozzy, nice to see you in the room. Nice to see you on the mic, bud. Get after it.
Yeah, what's going on, fellas? I was just wondering, I guess for both you guys, Usman that is going and Joe that kind of was thinking about it, would have an extra couple fights put you over the line, Joe? It's only 10 fights, right? Or 9 or 10 fights?
Um, I would say any fight that there's no fight that actually me and my buddy Scott were like, yep, that's the one. So
Mm,
a lot of times we'll go to fight week, which we don't give a shit. Just it's going to be fight week. We're going to do whatever we're going to do. But fights that are not fight week, it doesn't have to be the main event, but there's got to be a fight on that card that I want to see. Not that I'm going to watch, that I want to see. And there's just not that fight for us. Like, there's just
Would you
not that
think?
fight that makes us be like, let's grab a plane, fuck a hotel room. Let's do 25 hours in Vegas in a fucking car and fucking fly out of there. Because we looked at it all. We would have been there. It was actually 25 hours, our whole fucking flight and everything would have been like, with our travel time, we figured out it was just under 36 hours and shit. And we skipped because we're just like, bro, there's just not that fight, So that was it for us.
Commitment, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Do you
know.
think the whole Noche thing hurt it? Like, why they got to put so many Mexican? I know it's Mexican weekend, but if it was a different weekend and they could have had better fights rather than having to fill it with Mexican fighters, you think that could have helped the card a bit?
Yeah, I think if it would have just been, I think if this would have been UFC 300 and they were going to put you in the 1992, or what was it, 1993 Octagon, if they were going to try to emulate that crowd on the other side for you for a minute, and like if they would have been running us through UFC history, I think it would have done a lot better. And if I'm being 100% honest, when me and my buddy were talking, we didn't say it, but there's like, it feels like the card is tanking. It doesn't encourage you. It didn't encourage us to want to go. We just are like, damn, it's just fucking tanking. I don't know how to explain it any better than that. Usman, what made you say, fuck it, I'm going? The price drop?
The price drop, the sphere. I'm Mexican, and yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people have been talking about the names of the fights on the card, but I've been saying like they're not the biggest names, but I think every single fight is matched up to be a banger, to be a lot of fun, and we'll get to it on the breakdowns. But I think it's just going to be a good event for fights.
Fair enough. Fighters were well unique fighter kits specifically designed for this event. I also know that the commentary are getting suits that they did not pick out. Their suits, I heard DC talk about that. Their wardrobe is being fully provided. For the first time ever, UFC is granting a sponsor the title partner status by rebranding the UFC 306 to Riyadh Season Noche UFC. The event will feature 8 new Octagon girls. 6 are native born Mexican women, and 2 are second generation Mexicans. UFC hired several external producers and collaborators to work on this event. Several worked on Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, the Super Bowl, and the Oscars. The creative collaborators boast 29 Emmy wins, 8 Emmy nominations, 2 Oscar nominations, 1 Golden Globe win, 5 Golden Globe nominations, 1 Grammy win, 2 Grammy nominations. The UFC will also host a free 2-day fan experience at parking lot A of the Sphere. I don't know. It probably will be a lot of fun. Yeah, I hope that it's I hope they knock it out of the park for you, since you're already going to be there no matter what, Usman. And I hope it's as badass as it probably will be. I will say this: the UFC has set a production standard in everything that we have actually seen them do to this point. Um, I have no reason to doubt them. It will be magnificent, I am sure. With that, we're running late, but it's only 10 fights. Let's hit the card. UFC Noche, UFC 306. I'm probably hearing my mouse closing some windows out here. UFC Riyadh season Noche UFC. I think I've got UFC O'Malley versus Dvalishvili. I think I've covered all the fucking names. There we go. First fight of the night is Raul Rosas Jr. versus Aoriqileng. These boys are fighting at bantamweight. Let me switch over to the odds real quick. So September 14th, right? Ah, man, I should have been out. I should have been on top of this shit. Aoriqileng. So 27 books, 38 days. Aoriqileng plus 536. 533 on average. Raul Rosas Jr. minus 833 on average. I I guess I wouldn't be mad at anybody who wanted to bet on Aoriqileng based on his experience, because he's got a lot on Raul Rosas Jr. And at those odds, if you want to throw a little money on it, I just see nothing wrong with it. But I think Raul Rosas Jr. is the clear side. I'm just not mad at anybody who wants to bet on him against him at those odds. Trace, what do you got in this fight, bud?
Pass on me for right now.
Fair enough. Mike, what do you got on this fight, bud?
All right, so yeah, I think it's clear that Raul Rosas Jr. is the side, but at a minus 800 price, that he should, as young as he is, he should not be that high over anybody. So I just went with submission at minus 155. I think that's the best play here.
I think that's a great play, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, there's at this age, the experience gap may just be enough to make the difference. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but you took the sub on Rosa, or you just took the sub?
No, just the sub because that's really his only way he's gonna win. If he try, if is the longer the fights go, the worse it'll get for him because the Richelieu is very fast, and I don't think he's gonna be able to take those shots. So he's gonna be forced to finish him, and he can finish him.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Aussie.
Yeah, I think some things have to go pretty poorly, pretty wrong for Rosas for him to lose this fight. Um, I haven't seen any props though. What did you say? Plus 155 for sub?
No, it's minus 155 for sub.
Oh, minus. Ah, fuck. Oh, okay, yeah. I was interested at the plus. maybe around. I mean, maybe round one or two. I don't know, but
Yeah, he's plus 175 for round one, plus 315 for round two.
oh man, none of them are really great
Plus
lines.
money on the over. Plus money on the over 1.5, 110.
I mean, what's the KO? The KO must be decent then.
Yeah,
If he gets ground
KO
and
is
pound,
1200 for round one.
yeah. I don't know. I might stay away, but I was hoping to get a much better. I was hoping like plus 200 or something for the sub. I guess I had no chance if it's minus 150. Yeah. No, I'll probably stay away from this one then.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's not a fight that I'll probably bet at all. Usman, what are you playing on this fight?
I think that sub there for Rosas is pretty good. Probably hit the round props. But to me, I'm a gambler, baby. Let's take over 1.5.
Yeah,
Man, I actually don't think the over is a bad play.
yeah. Like he's gone to decision a lot, Richie Lang. He is a survivor. He maybe he can drag this out late.
I at plus money, I just don't think it's a bad look, I guess is all I would say. Up next, I believe is that Edgar Cháirez? Is that the fight that's up next? I am lacking connection here, I guess. I don't know. My shit is running slow. I have no idea why. Edgar Cháirez versus Joshua Van. This will be a good ass fight. Joshua Van sits at minus 217. Edgar Cháirez sits at plus 175. 26 books, 38 days. The over 2.5 is minus 200. The under 2.5 is plus 160. I don't think it goes the distance. I other than I think the next fight on the card, I don't, and maybe the Valentina fight. Man, I think we see a bunch of finishes this card. Maybe I'm tripping, but I don't know. Usman, what are you playing on this fight?
Man, so we knew Cháirez versus Kevin Borjas was going to be a crazy fight. I think this is going to be an even funner fight. Um, I don't know, man. I think over 2.5 and -200 is a good parlay piece, and I was thinking you just take either fighter by decision, and you don't really have to worry about anything. I think we know Cháirez isn't going to get subbed. We know he's got a damn freaking head full of rocks. It's going to be very hard for him to get knocked out. And Joshua Van, I mean, the only thing that scares me is that he just got knocked out 60 days ago pretty badly. And maybe that could do a little something to his chin, but he's a young guy. I think we could just get 3 rounds of just an absolute high pace, fisticuff fight. And we just catch the ghost to decision.
I mean, it's not a bad take. Mike, what do you got?
Um, I'm actually on the Cháirez side. Because I think he's just that he has better striking accuracy, and he likes to keep it at range. But he gets really aggressive as the fight goes on, just like Joshua Van. So I think I would just take a shot on the dog. That's just me.
Damn, bro. So Cháirez, what happened between him and Lacerda? Why did that fight get?
He kicked the
It
Serta's
was a
ass.
guillotine, right?
The first one was, I can't remember what happened in the first. It was like a,
He choked him out and didn't tap, but the ref
that's right.
stopped it.
Yeah. And then they had to run it back.
Oh, I
And
remember
then he
that
tapped him
fucking
out for real.
fight. I remember that fight. All right, fair enough, I guess. And then he did definitely choke him out for real. Fucking Usman just bounced, bro. Damn, what happened there? Fucking phone died, maybe. What are you playing on this fight, Ozzy?
Yeah, I don't know. I like this fight to not go the distance, to be honest. Both guys are kind of finishers and don't really like, I don't think, has Cháirez ever won a decision? Um, no, 3 losses by decision, never
I
won a decision. So, yeah, both these guys kind of like to get it done inside the distance. He's going to have the whole Mexican thing behind him. And then Josh Van, he's taken the fight on short notice after getting KO'd. So we're talking about no real training camp, plus coming off a KO like what 6 weeks ago. I really don't really like that at all for Joshua Van. Although I do think he's the better fighter. Um, Again, I might just play this fight doesn't go the distance. Um, and we'll see what happens with Van. I'm gonna have to rewatch that Charles Johnson fight. Was he winning that fight? I can't remember. I'm gonna go back and watch it today, but um, I remember being surprised that Charles Johnson knocked him out. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that. But it's not a great look. And Edgar Cháirez, say what you want about this guy. He's not going to go away. He's no snowflake. He's in it to win it, and he's going to come out with that Mexican pride, and he's going to fight for your money against a guy who was kind of handled 6 or 7 weeks ago with no camp. So yeah, I lean towards the fight not going the distance, and maybe Cháirez can get something done here.
like the fight not to go the distance as well. Usman.
Yeah, I had to dip because I couldn't hear anything that Mike was saying, and I wanted to hear it. What did Mike say?
He said to fade you, man. It was crazy. He was disrespectful, and I didn't like it.
Of course he said that. That guy's the worst capper in the whole group. The guy don't know shit about fighting. Hate Mike. Always disliked him.
He didn't.
Well, I'm not gonna tell you what he said now, man. Uh,
It's okay.
I don't know if
It'll be a re-listen on YouTube, right?
Yes, it will. I don't know if Trace is ready to hop back in, so I will just let him throw his hand up whenever he's ready. Let's hit the next fight on the card, which is Luna Santos versus. No, that's not fucking right. That's completely the wrong fucking card. Why am I even looking at? What the fuck? Sorry, boys.
Could it be Yazmin versus Ketlen?
Yes, Yazmin versus Caitlin. Odds over here on the
Could
board
I just go in
are.
with the Joshua versus Edgar before you go on?
Yeah, get after it, bud. Welcome to
Thank
the mic,
you.
bud. Go
Thank you
ahead.
so much. I'm Faisy. I'm from South Africa. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to
Um,
meet you.
thank you so much. I think Joshua Van. It's way too early for him since that knockout, and I don't think he was winning that fight. The person that spoke before me, he was kind of like thinking, how did it go down?" If I remember correctly, it was very even at that time, and then he got knocked out. I don't think he has any chance against Edgar, but he's not going to get knocked out this time. It's going to be most probably submission or decision. He's not gonna. It's this fight will definitely go 3 rounds. Thank you.
Fair take, man. We don't argue people down around here. We like everybody's take. I think that's fair.
Thank you so much,
Uh,
Pat.
I think I'm personally a guy who thinks Dana White is looking for a bunch of finishes on this card, and I don't know. I just think Van is very susceptible to getting knocked out again, in my opinion. You don't get hit like that, and then 60 days later, I didn't even realize it was that close. Someone said 60 days. I was like, holy shit! I thought that was,
Happy time
time passes.
flies.
I'm like,
Time's flying.
yeah, I thought that's 4 or 5 months. I'm like, oh, that's a long time ago, bro. 60
60 days.
days. Ain't no fucking way. Usman.
Is he back?
Yeah, you see, that's one thing about South Africans and Mexicans. We're basically the same kind of people. I like this guy. I like this guy.
Thank you so much,
But
Isman.
honestly,
Thank you.
if Cháirez does get a knockdown and does hurt Van, I 100% see him grabbing onto the neck. He's gotten the guillotine finish before. I don't think the knockout comes. I think if he stumbles him and he goes to the ground, that neck is going to get scooped up quickly.
I, I hope so because I'm looking to find like 7 fights on this card to not go the distance and try to hit some crazy parlay. And then everybody be like, what the fuck? That's what I'm hoping for. I don't think I can pull 7, but there's got to be 5, maybe 6 here. Caitlin Souza versus Yazmin Yair. I know I might say that a little off, but I feel like I'm close on it. This fight,
Nowhere near close.
fuck you,
Jauregui.
say it. What?
Jauregui.
Jauregui.
What?
Jauregui.
You see, even the South African knows how to say it. I told you,
The
Mexican,
J
South
is
African,
H. H. What?
same people.
Jauregui. Yasmin
That's why
Jauregui.
I have That's why I have Usman here to correct me. Yasmin's going off at minus 500, plus 359 on Ketlen. 28 sport books are reporting that on our site. They have been for up to 38 days. The over 2.5, minus 275 to go over, plus 215 to go under. Definitely I'm not willing to put it in my parlay. Um, I think Ketlen Souza could maybe get finished, but the over is probably good money. I'm going to skip this fight. Uh, don't know if Trace is back. I'm going to go to Mike first. Mike, what do you got on this fight?
Yeah, I think this is your Haruki is a lock for this event. She's way more aggressive and she has the way better footwork. And I think as the fight goes on, I think you're definitely right. She can give me 1 second.
No problem. See, yeah. So didn't Ketlen got finished, right? Oh yeah, Karini Silva, right? Yeah, that shit don't count. Ozzy, go ahead, bud.
Yeah, like you were saying, there's no shame in losing to Karini Silva, but there is shame in not finishing Marnik Man. So this chick, in my eyes, she's no finish threat. You know, she's no finish threat, and you're looking at Yazmin. I'm not gay. You are gay. Uh, to really win every moment of the fight, I think she's going to probably win wherever the fight takes place. So yeah, I mean, what is she? A massive favorite, like minus 550. I don't really like that, but I mean, you know, if you like her late finish or something like that, I don't know. I might have to look into her side of things. I'm not really interested in anything on Souza. Like that Marnik Man is one of the worst fighters we've seen in the UFC, man, and she couldn't get her out of there. So yeah, maybe some Yazmin. I couldn't even blame anybody chucking her in as a parlay piece at minus 500. I really couldn't because this Ketlen Souza girl, she ain't it.
Man, I'm trying to. I guess I'm gonna have to go watch a little tape because I'm trying to figure out for myself if Yazmin will have any finishing upside. And on paper, I mean, it's not real evident. So I'm gonna have to go watch some tape because I really do. I don't know why. I feel like Dana White is trying to line a card that will have finishes. Um, so I think I'm just trying to find him. I'm trying to look for him. I don't know if Yazmin has the finishing upside. Usman, what are you betting on this fight?
I mean, her record is littered with finishes, but we just haven't seen it at this level. And I don't even know if Ketlen is at this level. I think you just take Jauregui by or just Jauregui money line. Probably put a little something on Jauregui by decision. Uh, like like um like Ozzy was saying, she couldn't finish Marnik Man. Yazmin does have that one blemish on her about getting slapped by that other Brazilian that got a lot of power, Denise Gomez. Um, I sometimes I say it so many times on Sunday shows. You just go with the lines tell you. You go with the most obvious pick. Don't get cute with it. And it's gonna be Hadige by decision in the over. Jesus Christ, Hadige by decision is minus 200. Good God. By
What do you
unanimous
think you were
decision,
going to
minus
get on me?
185. Give me minus 115 at least.
How do I say your
Okay,
name, bud? Fazy, Fozzy? How do I say it?
Hi. What's that? The name of Yasmin?
How do I say your name?
My name Faisy, sir. It's my nickname,
Fazy,
my
did you want to
complete
get
name.
on this fight?
I just love Yasmin. She's gorgeous. So anything.
Who is it?
I said she's gorgeous.
Which one?
But are you going to bet her because
No,
of
no,
that?
no. I don't
YB.
bet, sir.
Is
No,
that
sir.
you,
It's
YB?
against my. I don't bet. No, no, I don't bet. I don't.
Okay,
I
fair
watch
enough.
UFC, but I don't bet.
That's fair. That's
It's just
fair.
something. I have. If I'm gonna get into betting, it's just gonna. I can't. Thank you. But yeah, if I was, I wouldn't be betting on this one.
Fair enough.
Wise words from a
I don't
non-better
see.
there, son.
Well, I have no idea what's gonna
Oh,
go down
Trace.
this one. Yeah, it's just either way.
Trace, you're back. What are you betting on this fight?
You heard the man Fazy, man. Wise words. I'm not betting on this fight. If anything, take the over, throw it in a parlay. But nah, unless I have a strong perceived edge of who has a finishing ability or the chance to get the finish in the fight, uh, I generally just try to steer clear unless it's just like a woman's MMA fight where the line's blown out, like last week on the Contender Series. That chick being plus 900 or whatever it was that knocked out that chick in the first round. Like I just look for lines that shouldn't be as wide as they are if I'm going to bet a dog in there. Otherwise, I pretty much steer clear other than the overs that Usman tends to find for us for those parlays. So yeah, over. Other than that, I'm out.
Fair enough. Can't be mad at it at all, actually. I don't see any hands, so I'm going to move on.
Today.
Up next should be Ignacio Bahamondes versus Manuel Torres. Manuel is going off at minus 123 on average, plus 100 for Ignacio. That's 28 books, 38 days. The over under is set at 1.5. I am seeing from low vig minus 115 to go over, minus 115 to go under. I'm curious to see if the line switched on this fight, flipped, because I would have assumed that Ignacio Bahamondes would have opened as a favorite. Oh, he did. 13 days ago, he was minus 143. People are hammering Manuel Torres, apparently. I'm trying to check it at some other books. It takes a second for them to load because our site really does load the individual chart for each book. Man, so Manuel Torres seemed to flip like 2 days ago there. I don't know. I would pick this fight to go under 2.5, but not be confident that it would go under 1.5. Fight to go the distance, no. Uh, Probably a good play. I think Bahamondes is the side. If I do a money line play, I feel like if I'm even getting plus 105 on Bahamondes, I feel like I have to take him at that. Trace picks fights, brother. What is your take on this fight?
Man, to me, it seems like it's uh oh shit, what's the other guy's name? It's Bahamondes and who else?
Manuel
Torres.
Torres.
Torres. It's to me. It's if you're on Torres, you probably think Torres gets him out of there early. I mean, Torres comes out fighting with finishing intent. Everything he throws, the way he fights, it's all about damage. Like he's coming there to hurt you while he's in there. But the way he fights doesn't lead to believing in him having a lot of cardio. So if Bahamondes is able to establish the reach and keep him at distance and keep him at bay by point fighting, so to say, and just out techniquing him, it should be a Bahamondes fight all day. That's why I understood him opening as the favorite. But I also see the side from the Torres side. Like I said, the dude is hell on wheels while he's in there. So it's just do you think Bahamondes can establish the range and stay out of damage, or can Torres clip him early on? I tend to lean on the Bahamondes side. I think he probably takes him to a decision here.
He's nice and long as well. He could always keep him aside, isn't it? If I got the right guy, he's the one with the long arms, the tall one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's very long and lean.
You guys have seen
So
Manuel
my
Torres, or
Pause
have
on
you seen?
both of y'all. Jeez Louise. Long and lean. Very long man over
Boy,
here.
getting Usman all kinds of worked up, son. Come on.
Dude, hit
The
the
fuck
pause
out of here!
button.
is he long
Listen,
and lean?
man.
You've been
Have
hanging
you
out with
guys
YB too
seen
much, Usman.
Bahamondes kick? Have you seen him kick? I don't know, man.
Is that good? Yeah,
I know Manuel Torres is hot in the UFC, bro, but Bahamondes is no joke, and those kicks are fucking disgusting.
he's long and lean.
I just, man, I feel like fuck. Ozzy, get after it, bud.
Yeah, man, I really like the fight doesn't go the distance here, man. Both these guys are finishers. Probably not going to be any takedowns in this fight. If there is, it's probably coming from Torres. I guess maybe some submission on him if you get a good price might be worth a pick. But I really like the fight to end inside the distance. These guys are finishers, man. They go for it. They're going to go for that 50K bonus. Um, yeah, let's see what happens, man. But if I get it anywhere near a decent price, I don't know I don't have props here yet, but I'm assuming the under is a 1.5, is it, or is it 2.5?
One and a
One and a
half.
One and
half,
a half. Yeah.
even money,
Even money,
even
yeah,
money with
okay.
under over.
Yeah, so I'd probably look at fight doesn't go the distance as a nice parlay piece. Um, every second this fight is standing, you're going to be on edge thinking that someone's going to hurt somebody or Torres, even the club and sub is probably live here. So, yeah, I might take a bit of Torres sub, but yeah, I'll definitely have some fight doesn't go the distance.
Keeping it in the same spirit for Usman, I do think that the Bahamondes round 2, round 3 KO would probably be pretty thick. You know what I'm saying? Rather girthy.
Ah,
Man,
that
you
was
guys are
worse than
fucking
long and lean.
on one today. Here, I'm gonna give you guys what probably every capper that sells picks is called their free pick this week. Free play. Um, Irene Aldana minus 112, Norma Dumont minus 110, 27 books. 38 days. The under 2.5 is set at plus 350. The over 2.5 is set at minus 450. Bet your fucking life savings on the over 2.5. I don't care that it's minus 450. You take everything you fucking have in life that you bet with and put it on that over 2.5, and you're going to get a little bit more of everything you have in life. I can't remember who it was. Somebody actually posted that shit as one of their free plays. I was like, what the fuck? Who is paying you for minus fucking 9,000 on an over? Like, what the fuck? Um, Usman, what's your take on this fight?
So I was a little busy. I didn't get to put my hand up for the last fight, but over 1.5 on the Bahamondes Manuel Torres fight, and I'm gonna take both fighters by decision. Um, yeah, it's gambling, baby. It's gambling. When it comes to this fight, I gotta go with Irene Aldana. Norma Dumont has looked a whole lot better than when she first came into the UFC. It seems like they're really giving her the push with the Jermaine Durandamy win in the last fight. But for sure, this is 100% an over fight. I do think there are a slight possibility that Irene lands that left hook and puts her on all kinds of crazy legs. But yeah, Irene decision and the over.
All right. Mike, what are you playing on this fight? Did Mike out of here? Is he gone?
For a minute,
Mike?
boss.
What's that?
Yeah, he's been out of here for a minute now.
I know he has some mic problems and shit sometimes. All right, well that's shit. Trace, what are you playing?
Man, I feel like it's probably gonna be a nice. Either it's gonna be a nice little scrap or it's gonna be a clinch fest. I wouldn't be surprised if Big Norm comes in here and tries to shoot in some takedowns and tries to go the wrestling route, and we see them kind of stalemate in the clinches for a while. Uh, yeah, I do think Aldana should be the better fighter in this ring. I just kind of worry about Norm being that she's definitely the bigger body fighter, and she's definitely going to be the lot heavier fighter come fight day. I wouldn't be surprised if she bullies her in clinches and squeaks out a win that way. But man, give me Aldana. I think Aldana should be able to get the nod here. Give me Aldana by decision. Give me the over. Yeah, I tend to agree with Usman. I just kind of worry about the clinching and the wrestling from Norma. But you have to think with her having two other teammates fighting on that card, they should be coming in pretty well trained. So should be the best Aldana fight camp we've ever seen.
I don't disagree at all. Aussie, get after it, bud.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about long and lengthy versus thick, and then we moved straight on to this fight. Um, yeah, I mean, this is going to be like I think it was Trace was saying. Norma's going to get the minutes up against the cage. Aldana's going to get the striking off, and we're relying on these judges to score this correctly. And I don't have any faith in that. So I'm going to take the split on this one. I'm not going to think too hard about it. I'm not going to bother watching tape and trying to break down a fucking Norma Dumont path to victory. I'm just going to assume that it's probably close. We're looking at minutes of control versus someone actually getting the better of the striking. And yeah, just give me that split decision. You just need one judge to fuck it up. And I've got a lot more faith in that than either of these girls money line or to win a decision. So yeah, give me the split.
Love it, love it.
Yeah, that's That's a nice play on this fight, maybe. Usman.
Yeah, lastly, lines have not dropped, but I'm going to try to be a little sneaky sniper on the over takedowns for Norma Dumont. If they give us anywhere around 1.5, 2.5, I think you take that at any money. Um, just because Irene, she does let up on some takedowns. She'll put her feet up on the hips and try to get back up with some jiu-jitsu offense. And we already know it's going to be a clinch fest from Norma. So takedowns, takedowns, takedowns. I think she'll get at least three.
Yeah, this fight could look very similar to the Macy Chasson fight as well. I mean, fight style for fight style, Norma on the feet's pretty similar to Chesson, and we know Chesson was having her way with Aldana until that weird ass heel kick to the body that put her down from the liver shot. But yeah, yeah, I think that's what's probably the best play on that fight, honestly.
What did anybody say what the number was on that?
It's probably too early.
No, no, it hasn't dropped yet.
Yeah, but they probably too early in the week for that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, I don't see any more hands, and I'm just gonna move on then. So up next is Ode Osbourne versus Ronaldo Rodríguez. 25 books, 21 days, minus 135 on Rodriguez, plus 109 on Ode Osbourne, over 2.5 plus 110, under 2.5 minus 140. With that said, I think I want Ode Osbourne by, I don't know, man. I just feel like Ode's going to overwhelm this guy with experience. Uh, I also have the contradiction that I feel like Ode Osbourne is a little overrated. Um, and
Cap experience,
doesn't have,
experience in losing.
um, and I don't think he has great fight IQ, but I remember watching this kid fight Denise Bonder, and I'm not overly impressed by that. And he lost on the Contender Series. And if I recall, he got his ass beat on the Contender Series for like 3 rounds. Pretty bad, if I remember. I used to go back and watch all the Contender Series cards, even like last year sometimes like the next day, so it's not so late and we got all the spaces and shit, so I don't have to watch them on mute. I just been doing that lately because everybody's been betting on him, but usually I go back and watch them the next day, and I feel like I remember watching him get his ass beat on the Contender Series. Man, I'm very conflicted. I think fight to go the distance, no. This definitely makes my parlay for fight to go the distance, no. um, but man, I think O'Day is the side here. Uh, Usman, what are you playing here?
So when this fight first dropped, I told y'all there's only one play that you need to do, and put everything on it, and it's gonna be Lazy Boy by submission. Coming into the fight week, I feel like I'm a little more on the fence, maybe disrespecting. I'm not saying that Ode Osborne is crazy good or anything, but maybe disrespecting him a little too much. Still, you're talking about Dana wanting a lot of finishes on this fight, on this card. I think Dana just wants this card to represent Mexican style of fighting. I think Ode probably has a very good first round. Um, Lazy Boy starts off a little slow and is going to have trouble trying to find him with the speed, but then is eventually going to start putting some combos on him, getting his hands on him. And I think he still finds the sub. I think the under 2.5, if that's what it's set at, is a good play. And then Lazy Boy inside the distance is pretty good. But I'll probably be jumping in after the first round if I can.
Fair enough. Trace picks fights. What are you playing?
Yeah, I'm not too invested in this fight. I'm kind of steering clear of it. Kind of wary. Don't really have enough to know whether the kid's legit or not, or good, or if O'Day's just not a quality fighter because we just really don't know. I mean, I would say he's not, but that doesn't mean he's not better than this kid. So I don't have to bet it, so I'm not.
Fair enough.
But if I'm picking a side, give me the more proven fighter. Give me O'Day Osbourne. Uh, let's say he catches him round one.
So, fight to go the distance, yes or no? You'd say no.
Oh no, I think O'Day's at that point in his career where whether he wins or not, the fights probably aren't going the distance.
I agree. Up next, so I know the odds board gets them out of order a little bit because some of the books before false start time. So you'll hear me clicking back and forth to make sure I hit the order correctly. Ozzy, before I move on, did you want to get in on that fight, bud?
Yeah, I don't have much to say. I was just going to say Rodríguez sub plus 375. If that line gets better once more books open up, I mean that might be worth looking at. Bit of Rodríguez sub. If you can get like plus 400, plus 450, something like that, might be worth having a poke. I think.
Just for clearance, take for take, I would go with what Usman said on this fight. I didn't put a whole lot of looking into this fight. Usman likes to sub round two. I love playing live lines, so I'll probably definitely jump on live betting round two if he's still there.
Fair. Yeah, I think I'm going to play this one fight to go the distance. No. If I'm looking right now, I think I'm going to go fight to go the distance. No. On the the Rosas fight, the Cháirez fight, the Bahamondes fight, and probably this fight. I really think Yazmin could finish Ketlen. Um, I'd have a really hard time betting it. I do think we see finish, basically a bunch of finishes. Of those, I would probably be the most worried about the Edgar Cháirez versus Joshua Van fight. But the other three, the Rosas, the Bahamondes, and this fight, I feel very confident that none of them are going the distance. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you guys think I'm fucking crazy, but that's just how I feel about it. Whatever. Maybe I'm fucking reaching, but I don't know. I don't think this fight makes it the distance. Anybody else? I get sometimes I forget the order and what I've called, man. That's everybody, right? Did Ozzy get this fight? Ozzy didn't get in on this fight.
What are we on now? The Zellhuber fight?
No, the O'Day fight. Did you just get in on this fight?
Yeah. I think Rodríguez sub's worth a look. If you can get, I mean, I don't really like it at plus 350, but we can get plus 450, something like that when more books start opening it. Yeah, maybe take a look at that.
Fair enough. You did say that, man. I got distracted by I'm not fucking with you guys. Right now the weather's nice and I can keep the door open. And I think I talk about this thing every week. There's a skunk that terrorizes my neighborhood. And I have a garden and he loves my fucking yard. And he's in my yard all the time.
Yeah, it's
So
called your
you're
weed, bro. That's you.
No, bro. And this fucker he sprays at least, I swear to God, if you're outside at night in my neighborhood, you will smell that fucker at least 4 or 5 nights a week. It's bad. So the lady, whatever, I don't want to get into it, but the lady across the street has like 27 fucking cats. It's probably more like 7 or 8. And the fucking thing fights with these outdoor cats every fucking night and it sprays and then it comes to my fucking garden and tries to steal my food and I try to walk out of my fucking garage into the house after the spaces and shit sometimes. And I swear to God, that fucker's out there and I got to wait for him to run away. And then I got to dart to the house before I have to smell that sneaky fucker because he sprays my yard. So every
He
time I
just
think I
spraying his
see that,
cologne trying to get them puss, bro.
I
I
just
don't,
don't understand how you smoke weed and don't like the smell of skunk. Like
bro, because it is
I
not the
like
same.
skunk smell.
It is not the same. It is not the fucking same. It is not. It
That's
is
how you know
not the
Usman
same.
misses pot. He's over here sniffing. He's over here sniffing skunk his ass like hell yeah, boy. Second hand.
Bro, I passed the roadkill skunk and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's a good.
Roll them windows down,
Uh,
baby. Roll them windows down.
Man. So whatever. Every time I think I see that motherfucker, I am all highly fucking distracted. That's all I can say. So
Fight between cats and the skunk.
what'd you say? You got muffled there.
Who wins the fights between the cats and the skunk? Because it looks like you're the one that's losing. They two fighting.
Oh, bro,
Yeah,
that
is that the
skunk
place?
beats the shit out of them cats all the time.
Why do
And then what it does, listen, I'm not going to go on about it, but the yard
it's
that the
interesting.
cats hang out in all the time, sometimes it'll just go over there and fucking spray everywhere and sit in her fucking yard for hours. Like, the skunk is a total prick. Anyways, up next is Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Riba, Esteban Ribovics is going off at plus 193. Daniel Zellhuber minus 250. The over is set at 2.5, minus 220. The under minus one or plus 160. I'm not a person that has a lot of interest in this fight, if I'm being honest. I'm looking for unders this week. I'm looking for fights to go the distance, no. And I don't think this one gets there. So I personally don't have a lot of interest in this fight. Trace picks fights, and then Usman. What do you guys got?
Yeah, man, this is definitely a Daniel Zellhuber over via decision. I just feel like he's the reach advantage, being the better striker, the cleaner striker. He's just going to be able to piece him up from at range, and he's not really shown that he has much of a killer instinct that or the want to go out there and just really punish people. He's happy to sit at distance and just kind of pick you apart. So yeah, give me Daniel Zellhuber via decision. Uh, Usman, what you got?
oh, I'm sorry. Was Joe speaking? I couldn't hear anything. Maybe he was just waiting for me.
No, he wouldn't.
Oh, okay, man. I'm torn on this one. Like everything says, go with the Mexican, but that green-eyed, handsome Argentinian just steals my he steals my heart with those fucking combos. It's definitely not his good looks. It's those damn combos, man.
He's a South
Um,
Mexican, right?
I believe he's
Isn't
Argentinian.
that South Mexico?
Um, yes, sure. South America, but geez, I don't know, man. Zellhuber should take the decision, right? You're right. Long, he fights long. Everything is just played out for a Zellhuber decision, but those fucking combos, and the dude is he's willing to put his face on the line to get into that space, and we know fucking Ribovics can crack like crazy. With a long style comes a big chin up in the air, and Zellhuber very much has that. You got to think that Eric Nixick and them at Factory X are trying to put up a game plan to stay away from that power. Um, I'd have to go over 2.5. Zellhuber by decision, but I might just put some money on Ribovics KO or Ribovics split, man. I like that kid a lot.
Bro,
Fights all blood and
I
guts.
would love for Ribovics to get the finish in this fight. Honestly, he's of the two, he's the more exciting fighter. He's the funner fighter to watch, and he's shown to have a good chin himself. Man, he's got a strong chin himself. So, boy, it would be nice to see him go in and throw some hammers and catch Zellhuber using that high defense or the tall man defense rather. But yeah, I just think he
Hey,
keeps him at a distance. But I would love to see Ribovics win this fight.
and Ribovics is the one that fights has the Mexican fighting style. Me and my dad were over here trying to figure out how the fuck you say Zellhuber in Spanish. Is the Z silent? Silent? Is it El
Silent.
Huber? I don't know. That doesn't sound fucking Mexican to me.
Oh, he's a transplant. What you're saying? Or is it a plant? He's a
He
plant.
def-
He's a plant. transplant.
yeah, he's a plant.
Fucking you guys train. Jesus, all this shit this tonight. Ozzy, get after it, bud.
Yeah, this fight's a little bit tricky, man. Zellhuber, I like everything about this guy. He's tall, he's long, but man, he can be a little bit tentative early, especially in that first round. If you look, it's always his lowest output round. He really likes to feel his opponents out. And this Ribovics kid, man, he's kind of crazy. He throws a lot of combinations. He's hard to get a read on. So I wonder how long it's going to take Zellhuber to kind of open up here. If you think you like Zellhuber, I wouldn't mind betting him live after that first round. I think the line is going to be close after that first round because I think Zellhuber might lose that first round. Um, whereas Ribovics, I don't mind this guy at this price. What's he looking at? Plus, I just had it up. Plus 185, plus 200. Um, he's probably going to get my money in this spot. I'm going to have a little bet on him here just because I think he does win that first round. And then, like I said, he's probably going to have the higher output. You can't fight a long guy like Zellhuber and just throw one strike. He's going to have to throw 3 or 4 strikes. He's going to be in the combinations a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I think if this fight goes to the ground, it's probably because Ribovics is getting takedowns because he's having trouble with the reach disadvantage. I just see a lot of things pointing towards Ribovics here. So, yeah, I'm going to have a small stab at him. I think probably just his money line at plus 200. I don't mind that at all. And Zellhuber, yeah, I get it. I mean, this guy, he is good. He is really good. He's one loss to Trey Ogden. I mean, watch that fight. I mean, that's not Zellhuber. I don't know what his issue was in that fight. But I mean, that he just didn't fight like himself. There was something off. Whether he just had a bad night or he had some injuries, I don't get it. But he's definitely better than that showing. So he could be undefeated, but man, Ribovics, you see his last fight with Terrence McKinney, man, that head kick, man, put him out cold. It was what was that?
I think that the Ribovics kick kind of landed in the McKinney's neck. Was
Yeah,
mad.
put him out cold wherever it landed. He was fucking out cold. But yeah, this I don't know, man. I just like the money line. I'm surprised it's this wide. I guess, especially if everyone's thinking, it goes the distance. I mean, you're giving Ribovics 15 minutes to maybe put something together and get you out of there. Yeah, I'm going to take a little stab at his money line there.
I'm not mad at it at all. I'm going to skip it. I'm looking for fights go the distance no this week. It's just my theme. That's what I'm trying to hit. Got no fucking reason other than I'm not as excited about Noche as I want to be. So this is me trying to get myself excited about fucking Noche. It is what it is what they say.
Cap, I
Up
think
next,
Cap, I think this one goes the distance. Daniel, the Ribovics fight, it goes the distance. That's what I think.
yeah, I agree. I agree. That's why I'm not
They're
betting
not
it.
gonna really, yeah, they'll just cancel each other out here and then whatever. But they're not gonna knock each other out.
No, I don't think so either. Usman, go ahead, bud.
I'm just saying, man, you're hating on Noche real bad. You're voting Trump. This guy's a racist. He's 100% a racist.
Um, I don't agree with that statement,
He
but
didn't deny it. He didn't deny it. On to the next fight.
Clip that. Clip that.
Clip that shit. So, anyways, man, I want to fuck with you so bad right now, but I'm just gonna skip because this is an MMA space, and
Like the
uh,
Kamala.
I just want to fucking give you such a hard time right now.
We're all
Anyways,
friends. Let's keep it PG for YouTube. We're all friends.
yeah, I know. Like that's what I mean. I wholeheartedly. I just know you can take it, but we're in an MMA space right now. Up next is. I'm not fucking around. You guys have never heard me say this about a Brian Ortega fight. Up next is the fight I think I'm looking most forward to on the night. Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopes. Brian Ortega minus 189. Diego Lopes plus 150. The over under is set at 2.5. Minus 132 to go over. Minus, okay, plus 100 to go under. And then at another book, you got minus 125 to go over, minus 105 to go under. I like this fight to hit the fight to go the distance. No parlay. I really like this play here. Um, if I had to pick a side, I'm rooting for Diego Lopes a lot. Oh, I said those odds backwards. I'm sorry. Diego Lopes is minus 189 favorite. Brian Ortega is plus 150 dog. I did say those odds backwards. I'm very sorry, guys. I really like Diego here. Go fucking Diego. If I do a money line parlay next to the fight to go the distance, no parlays, I guarantee you that I will have Diego Lopes in it. I don't think that Brian Ortega is not good, but I think Brian Ortega got pushed because he was doing well at a time that his division was struggling for new faces at the top, and we seen him get pushed. Um, and I don't think Diego Lopes is that guy. I think Diego Lopes belongs up at the top. So I just think we're going to see Diego Lopes take his place here. Trace, big fights.
Actually, let Ozzy go on this one first.
Ozzy, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I like this. So, why did the fight get cancelled last time? Something with Ortega after the weigh-ins or something, was it? From what I remember. Um, Jay.
He was ill. I know Ortega was ill because Dana White said super ill or some shit when he talked about it.
Yeah, look, I've always liked Ortega. I've bet on him a lot in the past, and he's made me a lot of money. He's just been a round three cashing machine for me. And I'm going to hit it again here, man. I'm going to go Ortega round three. I expect him to get his ass kicked the first two rounds, need a finish, and fingers crossed he gets it. We've seen Lopes last time. Full camp came out, and Dan Ige had to take it on a few hours' notice, from what I remember. And Ige came out and won that third round on all three judges' scorecards. So, yeah, I'm going to take some Ortega round three. I'm playing with house money at this point. He's hit it like 4 times. Yeah, T City round three. I don't expect him to um, cover his money line at plus 155. I expect him to be losing until he does win. Um, but yeah, give me round three at plus 1800. I mean, you only got to hit that, once in your UFC career to cover that price. And he's already hit it 4 times for me. So yeah, I'm going to hit it again. Ortega round three plus 1800.
I will say, when you look at it as individual fighter betting, you are correct. You only have to hit that shit once in a career. And as long as you don't, you know, as long as you're not a person that's always ramping up their bet size, you hit it once in a career and you're playing with house money forever. I seen Cade get his hand up quick on this one. I'm gonna let Cade go next, and then we'll have the co-host close it out. Cade, get after it, bud. Nice to see you back in the room on the mic.
What's up, everyone? Yeah, last time out, I had a bet on Brian Ortega. And I think this time out, I'm gonna stick with it. I just think I really think Diego Lopez is like that. I think he really is a good fighter. But in this matchup, I just feel like the jiu-jitsu, Diego's jiu-jitsu is nasty, but I think Brian's is too. So I feel like it kind of cancels out. And I think if it goes to the ground, I feel like Brian is more experienced and is just a better wrestler, in my opinion. Um, so I think Brian will be able to take him down. And I think Brian's jiu-jitsu is good enough not to get caught. And his awareness on the ground is good enough not to get caught in any sub there. And then I think Diego's gonna have like way more power than Brian. So obviously, I think Diego could obviously catch him, but I think Brian's got a pretty good chin, and I think his striking honestly looked a lot better the last time out against Rodríguez. Like, I mean, he landed at a pretty high clip. I mean, he landed. I think he landed more significant strikes than Yair as well. So. Um, I don't know, man. I think Ortega in this matchup just stylistically can beat Diego Lopez, and if you're gonna give me plus 150, plus 160 on Brian Ortega, then I think that's the play.
Fair enough. I- fair enough. I got no issues
Yeah,
with it.
it
You know,
seems
I
like
like to let everybody get out.
we're mostly all going to be on Brian Ortega, unless Usman's got a different take. But yeah, man, I was on T City on the first fight. Sorry, my daughter was going crazy. I had to get her taken care of. But yeah, I was on Brian on the first fight, and that was before I saw Ige come in there and actually, had the fight been 5 rounds, not instead of three, Ige would have won that fight because from that third round on, we were going to see him take over that fight. It's honestly it's a shame that this fight's not 5 rounds. I feel like we're losing out on a lot of value for that because I would be all over Brian Ortega for this fight more than I already am. I think we see Ortega come out here in the first round and try to keep it standing with him, try to kind of wear him down before he start doing the grappling and going to the ground because the danger with him is him being fresh and them not being sweaty on the ground for something quick, something to happen fast. I think Brian's going to probably try to keep it on the feet while they're fresh, and then as the fight goes on, start seeing him mix up the grappling. But yeah, I think it's either a late round Brian stoppage or decision for him. I don't really see him finishing Brian in this fight. I think all the finishing upside is with Ortega. Uh, yeah, probably a third round KO. I don't know though, but he could finish it anyway though. But he's just so dangerous. But I feel like whatever you can get value at, take a stab on. But yeah, I tend to side with the Brian Ortega side on this fight.
Usman.
It's Team Meme for the win, ladies and gentlemen. And if Diego Lopez is going, it's going to be something wild and unexpected. We're going with Diego Lopez by decision. I think just styles make matchups, right? Diego is going to come out and put a lot of pressure. He's going to be throwing a lot of shit at the wall. He's going to be making Brian Ortega think. And I think that's just all on the feet. He's going to be crowding the space, throwing some crazy combos with a lot of power on him. Possibly hurt Brian. We've seen Brian get hurt a lot, but he's got a good chance to not get finished. I like the over 2.5. We risking it to get the biscuit over here, especially when you look at the lines. Goes the distance at plus 105, barely not meeting our criteria to hit the decision, and split plus 400. Um, I think 3 rounds helps Diego. I think that gives him round one and round two in the bag, no matter how close they are. And then round three, we sweat a little bit. If you're Aussie and you got the round three Brian Ortega, then good for you. But I think we sweat it, and Diego Lopez by decision plus 200 cashes.
Diego Lopez KO, man. Diego Lopez KO. He's gonna knock Brian out, man. Y'all are crazy. I can't believe I thought this whole room was gonna be like Diego Lopez, Diego Lopez, Diego Lopez. You motherfuckers are out here talking about Brian Ortega. I thought I was going to be on an island by myself. At least Usman got a little fucking paddle boat over here with me with a dumbass decision. I love you, bro. But Diego Lopes by decision over Brian Ortega? Come on, bro. That's the only way he can't fucking beat him, probably. That third round is going to look gross for fucking. Did he leave? Did he just quit the room? Man, he's gonna make me send him a fucking co-host back invite, man. This is my friend Usman, man. This is my friend Usman.
You see, that's how dumb your shit was, Joe. It was so bad that my internet didn't even want to hear it. It made me leave and come back after your rant. So that's why you're wrong. Diego Lopez by decision. Kiss my ass. All that ranting, and I heard no words. Let's go, internet. Bad Wi-Fi.
All right, all right, all right. Zabets, nice to see the hand up. Nice to have you on the mic, bud. Get after it.
Yo, that was very interesting. Very interesting. But yo, I'm on the side with you guys. I'm with Diego Lopez. Money line though.
Man, I do feel like even though I'm like Diego Lopez KO, I feel like it's KO or bust, if I'm being honest. Like, he better knock his ass out inside of like 7.5 minutes or something, or it's probably not going to look very good for him on the scorecards. Brian Brian looked real good in his last outing, hands wise, and I feel like Brian does have cardio to go, so Brian might be able to split the second round and probably win the third round if it were to go to decision. But I do feel like Diego can finish him for real. Ozzy.
Yeah, sorry. One more thing I did want to add. If any of you guys do have access to same game multis, whatever you decide to bet on this fight, I would just throw in there Diego Lopez to land the most strikes, along with whatever you think the outcome is. I'm sure you're going to get really good value on Lopez most strikes and Ortega to win, or however you think it goes down, or even just fight goes the distance. If you think it's going to go the distance, just chuck in Lopez to land the most strikes. I mean, he does it more often than not. And Ortega, win or lose, generally he gets outstruck. So yeah, normally he's coming back from behind. So I think that's a really good prop to kind of look out for if you do have access to the same game multis.
Yeah, I think that's a good play. And I do like to look at those now when I'm able to. You've heard me talk about them for a few weeks in a row now. So I'll be really excited when I can build two or three of them and then parlay them together with some of the books that I use. I'll be they say you can do it, but you can't do it with MMA. DraftKings says you can do it, but it's only certain sports. So whatever.
You,
We'll
you,
fucking
you can
see.
do it with Bet365, Joe. If you can get Bet365, you can do it.
Reliable book to cash you in and out, not fucking 8 days waiting on your money.
Nah, Bet365 is legit. They'll cash you out pretty quick.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, no more hands. Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko, co-main event. Alexa Grasso, surprisingly, is deep as minus 162, averaging minus 141. Uh, Plus 114 is the average on Valentina Shevchenko. You can see her as shallow as plus 121. 29 books, 43-day-old line. It's been on the books for quite a while. This card's been on the books for a while. It's been getting cooked. Most of these fights are 38 days or older. So a lot of these lines are fucking cooked, recooked, fried up, served again tomorrow. But whatever. That's what the line is. I guess at this point, you can't be surprised to see Alexa be the favorite. She's got two W's, no matter how you feel about it, or the W and then the majority decision. Isn't that what it was? Majority draw, majority
Yep,
draw.
yep, that's it. Yep.
Um, where you could, you can argue that shit however you want. I guess for me, I think Valentina is seeing the end. I guess it's a question of does she got one left in her? And if she gets it, I think she needs to retire. Uh, I think this fight probably goes over 4.5 minus 200, under plus 160. I think it probably goes over. Um, I don't think they can finish each other. Alexa has been very honest about they they knew that that was Valentina's opening when she did that spinning back kick, and she trained days in and days in for when she seen that kick, she could take her back. And she even said, even I think it's even in the countdown. She said, when I seen the kick coming, I knew this was my chance, right? So you kind of let Valentina know not to throw that kick again. And I don't think you're going to find another spot in Valentina's game where she's giving you a chance to really capitalize to finish her. Uh, so I think this fight goes over. I'm probably not playing any overs this week, though, boys. I'm looking for fights to go the distance. No. Trace picks fights. What are you playing on the co-main event?
Man, I like Valentina to win by decision in this fight. Honestly, I think she's gonna on the feet. She's gonna have the more be more effective with her strikes and be more active on the feet using her footwork. Yeah, she had more takedowns in the first or in the second fight. Uh, I do think when it comes to the wrestling, she will have more success, even if she's not able to keep her down. Uh, but yeah, I think Valentina probably edges her out this time. I just think just from going from watching on the Ultimate Fighter and seeing how she is with her training, how strict and how like just intense her training is, I just think she's going to outwork her this time.
Fair enough. Do you think she retires?
If she doesn't win, I think she probably does.
If she wins, you think she keeps fighting if she wins?
I don't know, man. It's kind of like at the point if she wins, if they don't run the fight back again, which that could possibly happen again because they're 1-1 technically at that point. Uh, who's left for her to fight in that division?
Uh, no one if she wins. If she loses, I don't think she wants to leave on a loss. I don't think that's in Valentina. And I think her next fight would be Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Joanna's been talking about wanting to come back to fight for a BMF belt. Um, some other women have talked about being her possible opponent if she does return. If Valentina, and she has said she wants to do it at 125. Um, if Valentina loses, I think she fights Joanna and then maybe sails off regardless of the result. I think even if she lost the decision to Joanna, she would be okay with that one. Um, Especially, after a skid against Grasso like that. But I think she retires if she gets it, and I think we see her fight Joanna if she doesn't. Just my
As
guess,
you were
man.
saying
I
that,
just
I was like, in my mind before you said it, I was like, in that division, there's really no legacy fights for her. But if JJ came back and she's not a shell of her former self, sign me the fuck up, dude. That would be a banger.
100%, 100%, and um, it is a legacy fight. It's a real legacy fight. They're not too old unless Joanna looks completely washed, like like you just alluded to. Um, yeah, it's a true legacy fight. So that's just the path I see for Valentina. The paths I see for Valentina. If Alexa wins, I I I don't think she cares who's next. I really think she's that one. I don't think she gives a shit who's next. Just give me a fight, pay me some money, and I'm gonna do it with a smile on my face. And if she loses, she'll be right back for that belt. Right back for that belt. So I think Valentina needs to give it up if she wins it. Usman, what are you betting on this fight?
Man, guys, let me take y'all down a trip on memory lane where I told everybody in the world on the first fight, bet Alexa Grasso by submission. Second fight came around, I told y'all to bet her by decision. This fight is coming around a third time, and I'm telling you once again, bet Alexa Grasso by decision. It's going to happen. Back for the second fight or the first fight, I don't remember which one. I did a deep down stat breakdown on all the ages of the fighters that Valentina had beaten, and same thing with Grasso. They're the exact same mirror image of each other. All of their best wins are fighters against that are older than them, and here we go again. Grasso is going to be beating another woman that's older than her. If you look at the stats, look at all of Valentina's fights. This second fight against Grasso was, depending on who you'd ask, either the best performance of of her whole UFC career, or the third. Um, Third in most strikes thrown, first in most takedowns attempted, and she still couldn't come out with the decision. I think when you look at the fight, yes, she can get some takedowns. She might have the more technical striking, but we know who has the more power. We know Valentina cannot hurt Alexa Grasso. We know Grasso can hurt Valentina and make the strikes look better like for the judges. We know that she's got home court territory here. We know that she is more opportunistic, whether it be the knees in the second fight or the back take in the first fight. Valentina still came out throwing some spinning shit in the second fight. It's Grasso. It's Grasso all day. It's Grasso by decision. It's the over. And don't bet anything else because you're going to be wrong.
Usman. We know we can't have our we can't you can't have all three, bro. You can't have all three. You can't pick that entire team to win. Who's got to lose? You got to pick one. Of the three, who's losing?
Who's
There's no way that team gets a clean sweep.
I'm
I think Usman's internet cut out again. He didn't want to
I'm
hear none
I'm
of that.
so I'm so confused. I just went on a big rant about Grasso winning all three, and she's going to.
No. She can't all three rounds. No, that team can't win all three fights. The Ortega fight, her fight, and then they also have the who's the third fighter?
Diego Lopes.
Aldana fight.
Yeah, the Aldana. You picked all three from that team to win. You're telling me that team gets a clean sweep this weekend?
We're talking about UFC Noche, baby. I'm just letting you know. Um, Grasso's coming out with the win. So maybe might want to bet Big Norm,
So of the three, you're least confident in Aldana.
Aldana or Lopez too, man. Yeah, Aldana. We'll go with Aldana.
Lock it in. I like it. All right.
Cade, get after it, bud.
What's up? Yeah, I agree with Usman, man. It's Alexa Grasso for me. I just think, in my opinion, I don't think that Grasso is like crazy better than Val. I think the difference is that Grasso knows that Val hasn't been able to really necessarily hurt her. Grasso's a dog and will walk forward, and I do think Val might have the overall better arsenal to her striking, but I think Grasso has the better hands. Um, and Grasso's, like Usman said, Grasso's hurt Val. And then on top of that, in my opinion, people can disagree, but I just don't think that the Val that we once knew has been the same Val since the Tylo fight. So she's beatable. And it's UFC Noche, baby. Alexa Grasso's getting it done.
Man, I'm not laughing at you. I'm
I'm
just laughing
just
because you
saying,
laughed and
bro.
said
I'm
it.
just saying.
He
It's
said,
destiny, bro.
fair
Man,
enough.
I wonder what happened with Mike, man. I hope he's good, brother, because I really wanted to hear his take on this fight
He's
Yeah, I
And the
don't know.
Ortega fight, man. Those are some. Honestly, I don't care what the lines are. Those are razor sharp fights or razor thin fights, rather. They
look,
could go
look, look.
either way.
I know Mike. I know him like the back of my hand. The boy is a horrible capper.
You got. I
Okay,
want to.
okay. No, I know Mike, and I know that he had said multiple times leading up to this fight that he's on Shevchenko. But just because I know my boy, he starts off his breakdown by saying, "Man, guys, I was on Shevchenko to begin with, but breaking down the tape and then blah blah blah, a bunch of Mike stuff, Mike-isms, and then he's gonna be on Grasso, and we both cash, boy."
Hey, no, I actually do have a question with you though, or for you guys though. Does this trilogy kind of remind you of any other trilogy? Like does it kind of remind you guys in a way of maybe not
Moreno
hostile
and
Moreno and Figgy?
yeah,
Because I
when
feel like sometimes you just have that kryptonite in the sport where you could possibly on paper be better than that person, but that person's style and way they fight just beats you. So I don't know. That's how I feel about Grasso. Is the same way I kind of feel like Moreno with Figueiredo.
crazy, isn't it? Because I mean, you look at Moreno or you look at Figgy rather. Since moving up, has looked 1,000% better, but he looked like shit against Moreno, even in the fights that he won, or he did, yeah, he did win, yeah, even in the fight that he won. Uh, but yeah, I think whenever you brought up that question before you even said Moreno, I was like, yeah. As soon as you set it up, like, oh yeah, a win, a draw, another going to third. That's straight up Moreno and Figgy.
And that's another thing. Y'all were talking about Valentina retiring. She ain't going nowhere. We're 100% seeing a Figgy here. She's gonna lose this fight, and she's gonna move up to 135 and look pretty damn good. Like, why wouldn't she? Why the fuck wouldn't she go up to 135 and automatically be in title picture?
You come out your girl going up after she loses to Shevchenko via decision. Split this, dude. I would probably a solid bet on this fight, honestly, before I pass it off to Ozzy because we've been shitting on his time this whole time. Split's probably another solid play here. But you could probably play the split on either side and come out happy, or just play the split prop or in the split prop rather. But yeah, this is probably another good candidate for that. Ozzy,
Yeah, you already know I was going to say split. First of all, Manon Fiorot got next. She's going to get next shot. 7-0 in this division in the UFC. 7-0. That's pretty incredible. And then Natalia Silva is fucking chomping at the bit as well. So she probably needs one more fight against the top five girl, and she'll be right up there too. But as far as this fight goes, man, these two haven't had to think about anything but each other for the last 2 years, man. Um, the first fight, from what I remember, Valentina was not taking it seriously. She thought she was going to come in and just smash. I mean, I think she did a training camp in Brazil, not Brazil, sorry, fucking Bali with her sister on holiday. I mean, she's been doing that kind of shit for years, just wrecking these girls. But I mean, time's kind of caught up with her, and the division has caught up with her. The skill gap between her and the rest of the girls, it's not so wide anymore, and she kind of plateaued a little bit. And Grasso came out and kind of fought pretty well in that first fight. Although Valentina was up 2 rounds, 2 rounds to one going into that fourth, and then lost it. But even in the last fight, I was checking out the scorecards on your website, Cap MMA, and the only reason Valentina didn't get that decision was because Mike Bell gave Alexa Grasso a 10-8 round five. Um, I think that was a bit of a crazy 10-8. I don't think that was really well deserved. I think it was pretty close until the last minute or so of that fight. I'm going to go back and watch that one today as well. But I mean, Valentina, if she wins that, she's the champion right now and defending. So, yeah, that one crazy scorecard, that 10-8 round five, if that's a 10-9 round, which I think it probably should have been, then Valentina's a champion here. And I mean, at a fight this close, FICO split is probably pretty good. Would have hit last time with the majority. And yeah, I don't see why it would be a bad bet here. If you are picking one of the girls individually to win by decision, maybe just look at the odds for 4-5 or decision. It might be pretty close to the decision number. And why sweat the last 10 minutes if you're holding on one of those individual girls? But yeah, I like that split. I don't mind the late round props for either girl, which is why I kind of I think maybe pick the 4-5 or decision rather than just the decision. But yeah, I'm going to have some split decision here, and being the Valentina's the dog, we might get a decent price on her individually to win by split. I'll just check in the odds quickly. Yeah, we've got odds for it. So, oh man, Shevchenko split is only plus 500. Grasso split is plus 550. I don't know why the favourite would be shorter odds to win the split here, but whatever, for whatever reason. Yeah, but as those white more and more props come out, I'll take a look at some of them. But Valentina back in the day, she used to get you down, get to that crucifix position, and kind of pound you out, and or at least ride out the round. And I don't know why she can't still do it here. I know she's getting a bit older, but I expect her to come in with a grapple heavy game plan against Grasso. Why fight close rounds with a Mexican on a Mexican card? Take her down. She's going to have to dominate to win rounds here. So I like the split, and at these odds, I mean, money line, I'll stay away. But yeah, I'll probably just hit the split and leave the rest of it alone.
Ozzy, to be fair, to touch on what you said earlier, you said that she was on vacation with her sister for the first fight. To be fair, if she's on vacation with her sister, that means she's probably on vacation with her coach as well. So she might have been getting some good training sessions there. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah, but you don't train on vacation, man. What is she doing every
I don't know.
night?
She's
Is she going to bed early, or is she fucking hanging out, partying, dancing her ass off, having a good time? She needs to get in a camp, fucking just do nothing but
oh,
train. This is a
she
title
does all
fight,
that before 7 p.m. and is still in bed by 8 p.m. Brother, she's got it down to a science. And also, like you were saying, you said about the crucifix. I think what we're mostly seeing now, or at least what I'm hoping is what we're seeing now, is it's not so much that she's getting worse, is hopefully that the gap is closing. She was so much better than everybody for so long. Hopefully, we're finally seeing some level up in women's MMA, and they're just closing the gap on her. Za, what do you got on this fight, brother?
Yeah, you guys touched up on my point a little bit because I was watching the Embedded series and I see Grasso, she's training in the gym with Diego Lopes and Irene. So I'm like, all right, she's training. And then they show Shevchenko. She's at an antique store shopping and shit. I'm like, bro, you gotta fight. Why the hell is you? So give me Grasso for that reason.
Yeah, I mean
Remember,
that's why the training thing to
uh,
me doesn't really like. I don't really think anything of it because Grasso has always lived on the damn boat. Like that's always been her training, and that's why. Like what? I mean, not Grasso. I'm talking about Shevchenko. But like, what growth have we seen from Shevchenko? She's just been so far ahead and so fucking good that it's gotten her this far for so long, and she's up there as one of the greatest women fighters. But like, what growth have we actually seen from her? We've seen Grasso go from a pillow-fisted girl who was getting her ass whooped at 115 when she first came into the UFC to constantly get better in every fight. So I'd rather lean on that one too.
Respect.
one more thing. I forgot to give Usman a shout out because he was telling me to get on that submission last time out, the Grasso sub, and I laughed in his face. And then she comes out and she gets it, which was just fucking unreal. It doesn't take much to talk me into a 20-1, but that's one that I passed on and couldn't believe it hit. I don't think she had a sub on her record before that. I don't think Valentina had ever been subbed, and I just couldn't see it happening. And then she comes and pulls it off. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah,
So hats off to Usman.
I don't. Just to touch on something else real quick. I don't think we have to read. We're not saying anything that hasn't been said before, but she was a good, like, she's not just a pioneer. She's like the first complete women's MMA fighter. The first fighter we've seen that could dominate on the feet just as well as she could on the ground. Yeah, we have Amanda Nunes, but Nunes was just a knockout artist. Ronda Rousey was just a submission artist. And then uh you had other fighters, but they were specialists. She's the first real complete women's MMA fighter. So in that regard, I think she just stands out in a class of her own. But yeah, I think she gets the win this weekend. And whether she retires or not, man, I'm still gonna be a fan of her, whatever she does.
If Alexa Grasso wins, I will place a future bet for Natalia Silva to be the 125-pound champion by the end of 2025.
Oh, I like Manon
No, no, no,
Fiorot,
no.
though. I think she's going to get
Ozzy,
it.
save your money. Manon Fiorot ain't getting shit. It's Natalia Silva. I bit my tongue the first time you brought her up. Don't do it again because I'm about to get angry.
What the
Dude, hey, while I'm picking
Usman's on fire today.
while I'm picking her to win, for the love of God, I don't want to watch that dumbass dance that she does. That is the dude. It's just such a stupid dance. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, I fucking agree with you. Man. All right, so that's like 48 fucking minutes or something of that fight. We're going to go ahead and move on to the main event, which is Sean O'Malley, minus 137, 29 books, 45 days. Them fucking books are cooked. Merab Dvalishvili, plus 110. Over under set at 4.5. Surprising. I really thought we might see the 3.5 on this one. Over 4.5, minus 125. Under 4.5, minus 105. You can move around. Some of the books have the under at plus 114, plus 110, plus 114. You can find some plus money on it if you're at multiple books, but you're not getting killer fucking money on the under here. I do find it weird that Sean is the favorite, but the over is favored. The over 4.5. I don't think that maths.
I agree with you. That's
I
sketchy.
think that Sean O'Malley has to stuff the takedowns, prove that he can stuff the takedown, and then finish Merab. I know that Sean has proven he has phenomenal cardio, but I don't see how Sean is winning this fight for 5 rounds and even 3 out of 5 rounds and doesn't actually knock Merab out. I have to believe that if Merab can physically dominate Sean O'Malley on the ground, that he will tap him out. I know that Merab is not, people say he's not the submission artist. He just takes you down and lets you up. I think if Merab can take him down at will, he breaks Sean's spirit by the end of round 3. Breaks him as a fighter. And Sean not gives him the submission, but Merab is able to find it because Sean is broken inside of there. So I just don't understand the over 4.5 is where I was going with both of those takes. Like, I feel like Merab either fucking breaks him and gets the submission, or Sean stuffs him again, and at the third time waves his finger at him like, bro, you're gonna have to do something else. And on top of that, Ray Longo was talking about they know Merab's gonna have to take a few to get in on Sean. Whoa. The plan is never to take a few from Sean O'Malley to fucking try to get a takedown. That's the dumbest shit I've heard leading all the way up to this fight. You do not willingly take a few. You don't fucking take a few from Sean O'Malley, because if you're shooting the takedown, they're coming to the face. He's punching you in the fucking face. You don't take a few to try to take Sean down. If Merab is willing to let Sean punch him in the face 1, 2, or 3 times in order to try to get the takedown as he dives in, Sean knocks him out on the dive in. Like, you can't fucking do that. You've got to work your way over to Sean and you've got to grab him. I picked Sean by knockout. I actually think Sean, at least by round 2, is able to stuff the takedown and find the knockout by the end of the round or round 3. Sean O'Malley knockout round 2 or 3. If I can find that actual prop where they'll give me round 2, 3 on the KO, I'm going to bet that. I'm also going to bet fight to go the distance. No, as the final leg of my fight to go the distance, no parlay. Trace picks fights.
Yeah, man. For me, this fight's pretty clear cut. There's two outcomes that are the most probable. It's O'Malley wins in round 1 or 2 by KO. Honestly, he wins in the first 7.5 minutes. Outside of that, I think his ability to KO Merab just goes down tremendously. Well, I can't talk tonight. Um, I think Merab's very hittable, especially when he's like you say, he's going to be willing to take a few to get inside, even making himself even more hittable than he already is. But if he's able to make it through the first round or two and wrestle Sean, I think after that fight, like you said, he breaks him. I think after round 1 or 2, if Merab's still there, we see the fight just completely turn over in his favor. So yeah, if he's getting strummed on in the first round or two, I'm probably going to wait until the midpoint of the second round before I throw any money on him as a dog. And yeah, I think we'll get a lot of money, and then we'll see that tide turn. Uh, I like Merab to get the finish. I don't know if he gets the finish, but I do like the 4-5 or decision on FanDuel. Kind of covers a late decision or late round finish for Merab if he does wear him down and break him, like you said. But it also gives you a better price on the decision prop as well. So yeah, I'll probably be playing that. I do think Merab's probably the side. I take weaponized cardio over a lot of things especially over a KO punch at a lighter division. So yeah, give me Rob to outwork his opponent like he usually does. And if y'all play DraftKings, man, win or lose, if this fight goes 5 rounds, you're gonna want Merab in your lineup. So slap that dude in there.
Yeah, Merab is the guy that he can be your loser if you play DFS. He is like, if you can't hit all winners, Merab is your loser. I know enough to know that. Aussie, get after it. I almost said Aussie picks fights because I always go to Trace all the goddamn time.
I'll tell you what, man. I love everything I'm hearing so far, man. Like Trace hit the nail on the head. 4-5 or decision is a must play here. Um, Weaponized cardio is a perfect way of describing Merab. You're going to get in round 5 from Merab what you're going to get in round 1. He might even get better as the fight goes on, to be honest, as he gets more confident. Um, I mean, you're going to see this guy, like O'Malley is his face. Let me just double check this. So he's been taken down 8 times out of 17 attempts on his last 5 fights. He's going to see more than 17 attempts in this fight. Like even if he defends, I got no problem with him defending, no problem with him getting back up. Um, at all. That's Merab's game. He's not gonna. He's gonna take you down. Then you're not gonna just get up and you're at distance. You know, you get back up. He's still got that body lock on you, and he's gonna work for that takedown again. Chain wrestling is his game, and he's not one of these guys that just wrestles. I mean, he's got a lot of decisions on his records. A lot of those fights, if they were 5 round fights, he's got a lot of finishes on his record. You know what I mean? He cooks people. He cooks them bad, and man, a lot of those guys are lucky it was only a 3 round fight because he would have got those finishes later in the fight. So yeah, I really like Merab here. He's not going to stand a distance. This isn't going to look like the Marlon Vera fight. Marlon Vera didn't even. I don't think he even attempted a takedown in 5 rounds. Um, I know Merab doesn't have a Marlon Vera chin, but his plan is not to go in there and get hit a couple times. I don't give a fuck what his coach says. He's going to go in there from the get go. He's going to be shooting. He's going to be all the way in or all the way out. And I think O'Malley's not going to know what hit him, man. I mean, he's going to be really good, I think, defending the takedowns in that first round. But like we said, Merab doesn't go away. Every time O'Malley throws more than one strike, he's in on those legs. He's not going to get to start throwing combinations on Merab. Merab's shooting after that first jab. So yeah, I really like Merab here. I'm a bit surprised at the money line. I think it's probably going to get even better, to be honest. I think we're going to see Merab close at a decent dog here. When people start seeing the weigh-ins, seeing O'Malley, how big and long he is compared to Merab, I think more casual money is going to come in on O'Malley. We might even get a better price on Merab. So, yeah, I really like Merab. I like his 4-5 or decision. And if you're playing O'Malley, do not touch his money line, guys. Bet his KO. Um, I can't see how he wins a decision here. if he hurts Merab, he's probably finishing Merab. Um, I can't imagine his defending takedowns and just kind of outstriking him for 5 rounds. He's probably going to get the finish. So I can't blame anyone for taking the O'Malley KO. But for me, it's Merab decision, and then we're finally going to get Merab's going to fight Cousin Umar and see who the best wrestler in the division is.
Oh my God, Dana White will never let Merab versus Umar happen. He will never let that happen. He might. No, he won't. He won't. Kate, get after it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. That Merab shit sounds sweet until the cage door closes. Like to me, Sean just finds chins, bro, and I think he has too much in his tank to or arsenal, his skill set to lose to Merab, and Merab gets hurt in a lot of fights, and I don't think any of those guys hit like Sean does. I just think that I'm not even touching Sean's money line. Like, just give me the KO, man. Like, I think he knocks Merab out, and it is what it is. Like, if Merab chain wrestles him and wins, I mean, then that's what happens. But I don't know, man. I just think Sean is really good, and people, not saying any of you guys, but I just think people just don't like Sean, so they don't want to. A lot of people don't like Sean. A lot of people do, but the people that don't want to admit that he really is that guy. And I mean, dude, I'm not saying Merab and Cheeto are the same fighter because obviously they're way different styles. But I mean, Sean fucked him up like for 5 rounds and just put on a masterclass of striking. And Cheeto ate probably the nastiest knee that would have probably knocked anybody else the fuck out. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I just think Sean has too much. His length is too much. His range is too much. And 5 rounds is a long time to there's gonna be a lot of chances for Sean in 5 rounds to knock him out. So that's just my take. But yeah, that's what I think. I think Sean, if Merab takes him down, I don't think Merab can finish Sean on the ground. I don't think he will. I think there'll be scrambles and stuff. I obviously think Merab's a way better wrestler and stuff like that, but I just think that yeah, there's gonna be a lot of chances for Sean to touch Merab's chin. So I like Sean.
Me too. Me too. Awaken my Usman. What are you betting on the main event, sir?
So before I get into it, quick lines. Goes to split plus 450, barely missing our mark. That's hitting the over at 71.51%. But goes the distance tells us to bet the over, and that hits at 72.48%. I got to go against the strat here tonight or Saturday. I'm betting the under. I love Marab. I love him. I accept him as a Mexican. He did me a huge favor in beating the fucking balls off of Peter Yan. So he'll always have a special place in my heart. But Sean O'Malley's gonna knock him out, man. I'm going under. I'm going Sean O'Malley. And I am going to hit Sean O'Malley KO. And just to make it sexy, because I always got to, I'm betting Sean O'Malley by submission at plus 850. And that boys is finally gonna cash. He's gonna hurt him. He's not gonna put him out. Fucking what's his name? Rob is going to be diving for the legs, looking for that takedown, and scoop up the neck. Here comes Sean O'Malley with a Darce or an Anaconda, and Rob's going to sleep. You can't out tough a choke. He's going to sleep. Sean O'Malley submission plus 850. Let's get it.
I mean, I don't like the submission play, but I like everything else you said. But I'm not playing that damn submission, sir. Aussie, get after it.
Bro hates free
Yeah,
money.
yeah, man. Don't play that plus 850, man. You can get plus 1800s out there. Just wait, Usman. You're going to get a much better number than plus 850, believe me, man. If you got DraftKings right now, DraftKings is plus 1800 for O'Malley sub.
I
Um,
only got bet
yeah,
online, and that should tell you that it's something smart right there.
yeah, bet online. Bet online is shit. They're the worst for props, I think. Um, as far as this fight goes, sorry, Cade, I missed the end of your of what you were saying. I know you like O'Malley, but do you think that O'Malley, if this goes the distance, do you think it favors O'Malley or Merab? Cade might have had to. If anyone, I don't know if he
That
said it. I kind of missed what he
I
was
know that
saying,
was
but
for Cade, but I think it would lead a lot of people to think that it favors Marab. I don't see why O'Malley can't freaking win a decision.
Wait, what did you? Sorry, I was busy. What did you? What was your question?
sorry, Cade, I missed the end of your breakdown. My phone was playing up. I know you're on O'Malley, but do you think he's got some decision equity here, or do you think he's kind of KO
I
or
think he's
bust?
gonna knock. I think he's gonna knock him out, but I mean, I don't think
Yeah, fair
that.
enough.
I don't think that he can't win a decision. I think O'Malley's really that good, but I mean, I think he's gonna knock him out. I think that's
So
the path.
I was there
Yeah.
when he beat the shit out of Mahuños, or however you say that dude's last name. I will say this: if Merab doesn't have the ability to take Sean down, Sean has the cardio to punch him in the face for 5 fucking rounds. I have zero question about that. Um, but if Merab gets that takedown, he will break Sean. That yeah, I gotta believe that shit. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
He's won 13 unanimous decisions, Marab. All of his decision wins are unanimous.
yeah. If he can get you down, it's over for you. If he can get you down and take you down and get you down again and again, even it's fucking over for you. Um,
I just got off the phone with Merab Usman, and he told me to tell you he does not accept your invitation to the Mexican family. He believes you hail from Jerusalem.
Oh man, you guys are fucking on one tonight. Good times. Listen, so that's gonna conclude the card. UFC 306, Noche UFC, Riyadh season, Noche UFC, um, UFC 306, uh, O'Malley versus Dvalishvili. Usman.
Yeah, I'm just giving away a free lock, a free parlay. I got Rosas, Manuel Torres Bahamondes over 1.5, Yazmin Jauregui over 2.5, Cháirez Van over 2.5, Dumont Aldana over 2.5, and Daniel Zellhuber um, at plus 500. Add in Lazy Boy Ronaldo Rodríguez, you get plus 1,200. So free money on the table. Go ahead and take it, boys.
I don't know if I call that free money, but I might tell you. Ozzy.
Yeah, sorry, real quick, I missed the start of the show. Did you guys cover any of the contender series at all while it was on?
Just the fights that ran. We just kind of commented on them. That was about it.
Yeah, so I don't know if you realized that there was one fight on the card where a guy pulled out because he was having a panic attack backstage. Did you guys hear about that?
Is that why that fight got
Yeah,
canceled?
Dana White basically
Yeah,
called
he
him a
was.
pussy.
He did. He pretty much called him a pussy. Yeah, he said, "Oh, I think he couldn't handle. He didn't want none of this Cody Steele kid." I was big on Cody Steele coming to this fight actually, and yeah, I wish that fight had taken place, but it looked like he kind of called it. He said, "No, I can't fight. I'm having a panic attack or whatever," and then all of a sudden the fight was back on. So Cody had to get his gloves put back on and everything. And then he said, "No, I can't fight. I'm having a panic attack." and so this Cody Steele kid is going to get another fight on Contender Series. I think he was a little bit bummed that Dana didn't just sign him. Um, but yeah, Dana said he's getting his pay bonus, his win bonus, and all that kind of shit. He's going to get another fight. But also this Yusuri Bulgari guy, he came out, got the round 3 TKO, and it looks like Dana didn't give him the contract because he landed a few eye pokes. I think pissed Dana off. But this is that kickboxer guy that has been in there with what's his name,
AP.
Alex Pereira. and now he trains with Pereira and all that, and he's been in there with Adesanya and a lot of really top level kickboxers, Devon Wise,
Bro, if I was
and Dana
I
didn't
was
sign
them, I'd
him.
be like, bro, don't tell people I train with you. You strike like shit, bro.
Yeah, I was
Honestly, like that Japanese guy was so open to counters. Like he just threw like arm punches.
terrible, and just kind of dove in trying to get to a
Yeah, like
clinch.
if
But
he had one Alex Bahia counter left hooking him, that's all it would have took. But yeah, like I don't blame Dana for not taking him. That's what I was telling. I think it was Usman earlier in the podcast that yeah, I don't blame him for not taking that dude.
yeah, I was a bit surprised, man, because they love these K1 kickboxer guys. They're always looking for the next Izzy or next Pereira. And this guy actually got the finish this time. Last time he lost in the contender series, but he had that Lyme disease or whatever. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I thought that was kind of crazy. But that Japanese guy, he was just absolutely terrible. But this dude from the Congo, man, he looks good. He won a split decision. I thought he won convincingly, but Dana thought the other guy won for whatever reason.
Really,
But
I
yeah,
thought
this
Masasa was the only way. There was no chance the other guy won. Like, dude, the raw power that kid has and the power in his hips, dude, insanity.
yeah, he looks good. He got up. He defended a lot of takedowns. Never settled for bottom position. As soon as he was on the back, he was working to get straight back up, and he seemed to do it with ease. He went the distance, wasn't even breathing heavy. Yeah, this guy's one to watch as well.
Hey, quick question.
What you
The
got?
guy that trains with Alex Pereira and beat him, was he a dog today in that fight?
I
No,
don't
you
know,
mean
to be
the
honest.
guy that didn't get signed? No, he was a minus 1,000 when the fight
Oh,
kicked off.
Jesus.
So I think he was like minus 400 pretty quick, then minus 500, and then he pretty much got shot all the way down to minus 1,000.
No shit. So Dana had high expectations of the guy.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe he expected the round one KO. I mean, the guy is not really a one hitter quitter guy. He's kind of more of a punches in bunches, a accumulation guy. But he's been, like I said, he's been in there with some of the best kickboxers in the world, and some of them in the UFC. And when they like to pull up stupid stats like, oh, he's one of fucking five people to be in the UFC from the Congo or whatever stats they like to put up, you know, being able to say that you've been in, you've had fights with Adesanya and Pereira, and that seems like something that's a lot more looks a lot better on the screen than some of the stats they put up from these people.
Yeah, that's very fair. That's very fucking fair. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna go back and watch the Contender Series tomorrow. I gotta listen to the debate tomorrow, and I always watch Dana. I'll actually start the day with Dana White's press conference tomorrow. So that's gonna be it for the night. CapMMA.com. We also got Mike's not here right now. He split out today, but allinforbettertimes.com. Mike does a lot of really great write-ups. He puts a lot of time in over there. Thank you to the co-host Trace Picks Fights, Awaken, my Usman. Ozzy does Friday night breakdowns as well after the weigh-ins have gone down, when we can you get those last looks and see what you really want to bet day of, what live props you may be looking for. Cade is with Cage Side Press. We love the guys over at Cage Side Press. Dead Picks does our tech. Dead Picks already knows how I feel about him. One day he's going to let me see his face. No, I'm just fucking with him. I already have. Zob Betts is always here. Connor J, regulars, man. We love all you guys. We appreciate it. We will have new format. We will be mini studio on YouTube, but not just some of the guys will be like in a small room like you see everywhere, but the main shot of the show will be me. I'm fine with that. And we will have show format. I've been
That's
sending
awesome, man.
pictures. I've been sending pictures to the guys. Room is built. I now have to assemble everything for inside of the room. I've already built Finished all the wood, built the desk. I've got equipment on the way. We will intertwine video and spaces. No matter how I got to figure out how to do it, I'm going to do it. I like that YouTube has comments, and if we're getting momentum over there, that's really great. But there's certain sections of what we do that, we just need people to be able to bounce in and out of here, on and off the mics. It's what we do. So I want to preserve that one way or another, and somehow, some way, I'm going to try to figure it out. We'll get there, guys. We'll get there. Thank you, everyone. That's the end of the show. Trace, Usman, you guys got anything you want to say before we get out of here, or should I hit the fucking button?
Hit the button.
I'll see you at Noche.
Oh, Usman, shit. Have a blast, bro. I know you're gonna be busy having the time of your life, bro. But if you can give us like the 8-second videos that'll upload in the chats real quick and shit, so you ain't gotta take away, man. I would like to have a little bit of what it looks like in there from inside of there. Like look up and shit. Let us know what it looks like up on the ceiling. Let us know if the floor does anything. Shit like that we might not really pick up on the cameras, man. Thank you, everyone.